Welcome to the Bubba Army YouTube channel. Anna, you said that we haven't really talked about your weekend.
Oh, my God.
We've been pretty much talking about Lummy and talking about, Dan and Jay and Daddy Joe. And
all the important people. I get it.
Right.
Makes sense.
Blitz was down at Amateur Works. How did your ass fest this week go, Blitz? Every weekend's an ass fest.
So I spent most of the time working on the ring stuff at home. But I went out a few times. I went out with a couple of friends and stuff. And
what do you mean?
Went out with a couple of friends.
Couple chicks.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing crazy happened.
Any sea-doo parameters?
No.
How do you hesitate on that, buddy? I mean,
no, there wasn't any sea-doo parameters.
What does C do?
Make a girl squiz.
Oh, sorry.
Something you know nothing about.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Even when you do it, you don't know how to do that, do you? Even when you do it, I don't think
sex?
Even when you do it,
okay,
I don't think you do that.
No.
Yes or no? True or false?
True, I do not do that.
Have you ever?
No.
Do you?
Are you mad at me?
No. Are you interested in it?
I don't know.
If you get the right feller, then you'd say, hey.
I don't know.
If you Google two-fingered cul-de-sac Jones, if you do Google that, you have Googled that before, I think.
I have Google, yes.
That's not the question.
Oh.
Have you ever Googled two-fingered
cul-de-sac
Jones?
Yes, you told me to do it.
Okay.
I saw it on
So what if you were the feller and he was like, hey, I like you, you like me. We're doing it. We're doing stuff.
Are we holding hands?
We're holding hands. We're eating snacks. We're scissoring. We're kissing. Yeah. We're watching Who Shot JFK deals.
Yeah. You're turning me on.
She's into this.
We're doing all that. Okay.
We're watching InfoWars.
We're watching InfoWars.
Okay.
Alex Jones on standby.
Mama likes.
Right, and then and so you guys are kind of you guys are sexually active, so to speak.
Okay.
And you like him, and he likes you, and it's going to be a relationship, and it's everything that in your little world that you like. Mm-hmm. And he said to you, "Hey, have you ever jet skied?" And he used a different word, and you would at least have to tell him that you're familiar with it now because your co-hosts talk about it. Like some girls don't even have any idea what you're talking about. Like you might as well have antenna on your head when you ask them.
Okay.
So you're familiar with the body of work, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so what if he said, I like you, you like me, we're holding hands, we're scissoring.
Yeah.
We're eating Cheez-Ums with ketchup.
Cheez-Ums.
And and we're gonna make love tonight.
Okay.
And would you like? And I think I know how to do this. I don't know if a guy though could tell you he's done it with another girl because that could get him in trouble.
Well, then you start thinking about him with other people, and that's not good.
But I know how you're wired now, don't I?
Well, that's how every woman is wired.
So if he said to you, if he said to you, hey, you know what, I think I know how to do this. I think I do.
Or it's more like, let me try it on you.
Yeah. I've heard about it, and would you like to try it?
Yeah, I'd be game to try it.
Okay. Well, that's far more than I thought you'd say.
Of course.
Right.
If we're holding hands and we're eating cheeses watching InfoWars, I mean, that's a real deal. That's like marriage material type stuff.
You think you could ever get married?
No.
Why not?
Really?
I don't really believe in the institution of marriage. But I want to live like I'm married, if that's what you mean.
That's perfect, girl, for me.
I just don't want to get the government involved in my affairs.
Can you have your own place and I have my own place?
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn have done that. The best of anybody.
I want to live like I'm married, but not be married, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but what if a guy said, listen, hon, we're going to hold hands, we're going to scissor, we're going to eat Cheez-Ums and ketchup.
Why are we scissoring?
We're going to be vegan together or pescatarian together or whatever the hell we are.
Ketogenic, ketosis.
Yeah, it's all that. All that and more. But, I like to have I like to maintain my own place.
No. Wrong answer.
You have to be at the same place, but just not actually formally be married?
Sorry, say that again.
You have to live together like you're married.
I would
but not
like
be
that.
Not the commitment
Ideally,
of marriage.
I don't want to
live
say
like
the
you're married.
commitment.
It costs too much money to live apart.
Halvesies on the rent. But honest, so before
you can have your own room,
before you
but
shoot
not your own place.
So before you shoot it down, because you just shoot it down, if a guy would say, "Oh, you know what? I understand that you want to have, we want to, have our own place. I mean, we stay together.
Yeah.
We're not married, but we act like we're married. But for the first
Domestic partners.
But for the first year,
Does that sound lame?
Yes.
I still got 6 months on my lease.
Yeah.
And let me, I'd like to stay with you half the time. You stay with me half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But in 3 or 4 months when I have to make a determination on my lease,
Yeah.
we can make that decision when we cross.
Yeah, that's called a relationship.
Right.
Yeah, Bubba, I'd be down for that.
commitment.
Yeah.
No, she said, no, I can't be like that.
No,
Someone
What are you
said
talking
domestic
about?
partners.
I
the
literally
least-
just said I'm down for a marriage type life, but
Yeah.
without the government
yeah,
involved
she
in my
said that she
affairs.
wanted to live together. You're the one that said you don't, Bubba.
No,
I
I'm
do
saying
want to live with someone
What I'm
eventually.
saying
Right.
is, if she said it was a deal breaker, if a guy said, "Hey, I'd like to maintain my own place,"
Yeah.
and you have your own place, but we end up spending a ton of time together. But I, every few days, will go home and do my thing for a couple days, and every day, every few, you go home and do
Well,
your
like in the first, year or so of the 2
Right.
years of the relationship, fine. But after that point, if it's serious and we're serious about building a life together, I would like to live together.
Yeah.
right.
Is that
You have
okay?
I
Do you
gotta
share
tell you, man.
assets? Do you buy the house together? Or do you by 50-50? Is that how you do it? Do you have your own bank account?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that yet because I haven't really had
at
the
that-
opportunity to do that.
I know
but
married people that have bank accounts that are
I can
separate,
answer
which
that
is
question
weird.
right now.
Can I ask a question about money because I'm Jewish.
Oh,
but for real though, seriously, like if you're at that point and it's been a few years and you're sharing assets and all that stuff, like
Why not get married?
yeah, because you'd save so much money.
no,
Yeah.
screw that. I'll never get married again. Like, you don't need to. You can totally, act married and live like, but you don't have to be married.
But
that's a deal breaker.
Till they die.
That's an absolute deal breaker amongst a lot of people. And Anna, you and I actually have something in common. Like,
Oh my God.
I would much rather live with a girl. I would take it a step further. I'll always maintain my own place,
Okay.
right.
but I'll never get married.
But
I
if
can
you're-
absolutely meet the dream womanist of the dream womanist. Megan. Well, I might marry Megan Fox.
No
mean-
prenup either.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to find a
dust
girl
the
where
old one off.
I'd like to find a girl where I didn't have to sign a prenup because she was loaded.
I mean, I
She'd
get
make you sign a prenup.
I get the point of
I know.
not wanting government involved, but if you're living exactly like you're married,
Why not save the
financially,
money?
why not?
But I also think, and I could be wrong, and this is just, anecdotal sort of stuff, but I also think that marriage, oftentimes when you actually get married, it makes you complacent and stop trying. And I don't want that. I would never want that to happen. I know a lot of people who are in marriages and they're not happy, but it's just too much of a pain in the ass to leave. And I would never want to put myself or someone else in that situation.
Yeah, and so you can always
The
get out.
leading cause of divorce is marriage.
God, I hate you. Sometimes.
It is.
Yeah, I know, Bubba. It's just goddamn annoying.
But how do you think Jay is as like a boss?
A lot cooler than Dan.
Well,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like does
Yeah.
Jay, do you get angry and like
Yeah.
I get quiet.
okay.
So like if I get in what I call problem solving mode.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks ago, I had an
I've
issue
not really
that came
seen
up.
you flipped out. I've seen
like when
Steve flipped and I've seen Dan flipped.
My flip is this. I take my glasses off and I put my hand in my head and I rub it and I get quiet and I look up and then I just get in fix it mode.
Do you
and then I fix it and then I don't blame anybody. I say the law is a very forgiving thing. It's called the practice of law for a reason. If you make mistakes, you can admit to a mistake. I don't make lots of mistakes in life, but I do make mistakes. And when I do make them, I freely admit them.
Well, what
And
about
so
if somebody
employees-
else makes a mistake?
I take it as the lawyer. I'm
You know how
the
many
one.
times
It's the
did he
buck
put his
stop-
hands-
The buck stops with me.
How many times did he put his hands in
100%.
his
And
head
so
because of something I've done? A lot.
I've had just a couple little things recently, not big anything, and the people came from other firms and they were mortified. They thought that I was going to be screaming at them. I'm not a pen thrower. I just said, "What happened?" Okay. Let me figure it out. And I figured it out. And then the next.
What about the guy across the hallway from you?
Danny, not so much.
How about at the racetrack? Do you flip out there at all?
No. One time I did. I got a new car, Bubba, and the first time they turned it off, they had the fire suppression go off on the inside of the car.
Oh.
On brand new Alcantara, brand new car. Brand new car. It had
that practically completely totals your whole car.
I almost lost it, and I motherfucked everybody.
You can't say that. We're not.
We're not on podcast.
But I didn't say it. I thought I could say no. Okay.
Jay, he doesn't know what he just said. He doesn't know what he just said.
Jay, you actually said the whole F word.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't just say the F part.
No, I mother.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm sorry.
But I dumped it.
Thank God you did.
No, he said. He thought he said F.
You were running.
No, you said it.
You can't say that.
You were running so loose and just
so mad,
and you were so entrenched to the story that just you were speaking in tongues.
That Alcantara is still dirty, isn't it?
No, they fixed it all.
Hello, everybody. I got a little lippy with Dan yesterday, and he gave me a black eye. He just couldn't take it anymore. He's like, I can't take it anymore. I got you in the chair here.
Because he said Jay was your favorite.
He finally read those Facebook comments.
Yeah, and he said,
someone screenshot.
Yeah, and he said, oh, you want Jay's brain instead of mine? All right, well, let me pop you one. And he gave me one right in the right. Actually, I went to Dan's yesterday, and I've had this hanging...
Chad.
Like, I've had this, I can probably...
It's like a hanging Chad. It looked like a hanging Chad.
Yeah. What had happened back in 19...
tag.
God, look how rough I look today. Whoa.
You look like
you're gorgeous, man. You look gorgeous.
Anyway.
$1,000,000.
I got into a car wreck in 1986.
These people listening aren't even alive
All
then.
good country songs start that way.
Yeah. I got in a car wreck back in 1986. I put my 1985 Taurus right into the ditch. I was driving home from Brazil, Indiana to Terre Haute, Indiana after having emceed a Henry Lee Summer concert at Brazil or North, whatever the hell the high school is there.
Frame Bramage for the 1,000 bits.
And I was the MC, hey, welcome to Brazil High School. I'm Bubba the Love Sponge from 103 PFR. And, of course, you know him, you love him. He's the best. He's the best rocker from this area ever. Columbia recording artist, Henry Lee Summer. I wish I had a girl that walked like that. Well, on the way earlier that day, my right front tire on my 85 brand new Ford Taurus, Ford Tempo, had got like a hole in it. So I took it to some tire shop, Blitz, and they didn't plug it, they patched it.
It's usually better.
Yeah, patching is usually better.
Yeah, well...
Unless it's a really big hole.
Well, whatever. So, both of my friends now... I didn't even think about this, but Neil Fribley, who was visiting me from Indianapolis, and then my roommate, Carrie Gray, who was my roommate, and I traveled in my Ford Tempo to Brazil High School. They're both
dead, right?
Both are dead.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did they both die in car accidents?
No.
Oh.
Carrie did, didn't he?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
He had a brain aneurysm while driving a car
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
here to Florida to be on my show.
Oh.
And kind of did a Thelma and Louise deal in the Tennessee mountains off the side of the road.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That
brutal.
didn't kill him, though. And then Neil died a couple years ago of a heart attack. So anyway, we're driving home, and it was raining like you wouldn't believe, and my right front blew. And we went right into a ravine, into a ditch, and it caused Neil got hurt the least. Carrie got hurt the most. And I had a big cut on the Dan, you can actually, as you were looking at it yesterday, you can see where
It's like 2 inches on your eyebrow.
they stitched me.
Yeah.
And-
Looked like the way they stitched Lummy.
Well, I mean, you got to understand, Dan. I was like in I don't know what county. Blitz, can you Google what county? No, Rockville, Indiana. It was not Brazil. It was Rockville.
Park County?
Yeah, I was in the Park County. The ambulance came. The car was totaled. We're bleeding everywhere. The ambulance comes, Dan. what is it, North Park County or Park County emergency room, and the emergency room doctor stitched me up, and then over the years I just kind of developed like a little skin tab, there, and it's gotten, I wouldn't say it's gotten worse, but it's, how big was it, Dan? Was it like?
It was like a double. It was like a double skin tag. It was pretty big for a skin tag, especially on your eye. I mean, I can't imagine just like seeing that like in my periphery.
But it was above my eye, so I never saw it.
You never saw it? Never like dangled in front like a boom microphone?
No, it's like just a little speed bag up there. Okay. It's like a little, like a little speed bag on there.
Yeah, so the termites can box.
So my head lice can go down there and get a couple sessions in.
Climb down from your eyebrows.
Yeah, my head lice can superset shoulders with doing speed bag. So I go into Dan to get some Botox yesterday, and he's like, "Man, let me just take that off your eye." Well, I've been talking to Big Game for years. I'm like, yeah, I'm always going to have Dan take it off. But when push comes to shove, I'm like, I don't know, Dan. I kind of like it up there.
How long have you had it?
20 since 1985. Where the hell have you been?
I didn't know that it formed because of that.
Yeah, you just said that.
Well, I don't know if it formed immediately. So Anna technically probably is right. Anna, I'd say 20 plus years. Like, it probably took Dan 2 or 3 years to grow the crop in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that skin tag happened upon surgery.
Right.
It probably took a few years for.
How could you leave a foreign object on your body for like 20-something years?
Dan, how does a skin tag form? Like, what's the science behind it?
It's just like a benign hypertrophy of the epidermal cells.
Okay.
Got it?
So
it's just
a little growth. It just
like
goes,
I would have been able to double check that.
you couldn't even repeat it right now.
For $100 killion, I couldn't tell you what he just said.
Oh, for 100 killion, I probably could.
For 100 killion.
It's the hyperbole of a skin atrophy or something.
Yeah, you had some hyperbolic skin.
I don't know what he.
So anyway, what happens is you get a little overgrowth of skin. Sometimes when you have a wound that's not correctly or evenly lined up, some of the skin can kind of overgrow a little bit and form a skin tag.
Yeah,
so
I got a skin
skin doesn't
tag.
know to stop growing until it hits other skin.
Yeah, well, I had a little meat diving board over there, and Dan, put some lidocaine in there.
Yeah, they're
lidocaine in the eye. In the eyelid.
Smarts.
Yeah.
A little tough.
Yeah, it's smarts.
Oh, get a needle in the eyelid. Although the
I put
skin's,
like a CC in.
Yeah, but the skin's kind of the injection hurt a little bit. Then once you got it going, man.
The skin loosens up.
Yeah, once it numbs up.
Yeah. So
You can just cut it off.
Was it just lidocaine?
With epi.
Okay.
With some epi because it didn't hardly bleed.
Yeah, it bruised a little bit just from the shot, but after I took it off, it barely bled.
So I'll kind of put my hat up a little bit if you want to do an ISO on me. I did get a little bit of an eye bruise, which Dan was mad at. I'm like, Dan, I don't care. He's like, damn it, I didn't want to bruise your eye. So I think the bruise almost gone, Dan?
If you pull there you go. Now you can see it with the lid closed. You can really see it.
Oh yeah, with the lid closed, you can see a bruise. The whole patch. It patched out.
It looks like I talked back to Dan and he dotted me one.
Yeah, quick left.
You had a meeting with Tom Bean. Didn't go well.
Yeah, Tom.
You got lippy.
So
the Alabama Slammer gotcha.
Yeah, so Dan took that, and you just used like a pair of surgical scissors, right?
I did the Coming to America deal. After I flicked off the two little fleas that were in their headbands that were boxing.
Right.
I just pulled
After
it up.
you kicked him out of the Clem Gym, right?
Out of Clem Gym, exactly.
It looked like you used just a pair of real sharp, like surgical scissors.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. It was like Coming to America when they cut the ponytail off. It's like pulled it up, snipped it, and it was done. It was so easy. We should have done it 20 years ago.
So it was only a couple seconds, really?
Seconds.
It might have been 3 seconds. No, it might have been 8 seconds because he clipped the first one off and he goes, I think you got like a little one behind it or something. Was there like?
Yeah, it was like a double.
Yeah.
Like a double springboard.
Now will it grow back?
No.
Okay.
It won't grow back, Danny?
No, it shouldn't. If it does, I'll snip it again, but usually they don't. They're usually done.
Well, 26 years from now, what would that put me at? I don't know.
80-ish.
Yeah, I'll just keep it. unless it's so big, Unless it's so big, but I think it just. I told Dan, I said if none of the girls were in here, I'd eat it.
What?
Ew.
I offered it to him. He wouldn't eat it though. I tried to get him to eat it.
Have you not ever like pulled off a skin tag and just plopped it in your mouth?
Oh, like a piece of skin, like a piece of skin from like a fingernail.
Yeah.
Or like a
I
foreskin or something.
I spit. I don't swallow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But I'll take I've pulled off like a little skin tab on my neck before, and then I just go,
I
mean, snack.
I mean, but Dan, your little snack. If you eat your own skin, like it can't really be that big a deal, can it?
Gross.
I mean, it's not going to hurt you.
That's what I'm saying. Like
No,
it's your
not
own
gonna hurt you.
skin.
Yeah, it's not. I could eat your skin. It won't hurt
Not
me.
unless you drink a gallon of milk and puke it back up.
Poor Lumley.
Lummy, you look mad, Lummy. You look like you look.
Yeah.
You look at you. You look.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He looks fit.
He looks ready to go.
He's just counting the dollar signs.
No, Dan.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, Lummy. What did you lose some weight?
Yeah, I probably lost about 16 pounds.
Of blood.
Yeah.
Look at you, buddy.
Doesn't he look like real trim?
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
My skin feels really smooth too because I'm so I have so much
Sober?
water in me.
So well hydrated.
Yeah, I'm so hydrated. And I'm so cold too now. I'm always cold.
well, you're 16 lighter, kid.
Yeah.
Have you been getting the shakes at night from the alcohol withdrawal?
No. The
Lummy,
only thing I've been getting
I don't
is
believe
everything's
you.
cold.
Now,
I haven't.
one bit.
did you? Now, Lummy, did you? You know when you got out yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Ashley texted me. He's finally out.
Yeah, like late in the day yesterday.
Yeah,
Of
like
course.
6.
Oh, I'm really pissed off about that.
Don't yell, don't yell.
Sorry.
Let me chill out.
No. So that stupid doctor.
Dan, do you have your Dexter side neck shot ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Dan's got a preloaded side neck shot. As
Yeah.
soon as you get crazy, he gets you right in the neck like Dexter and puts you down.
Little vitamin H.
I wish Dr. Dan was there. That stupid
Settle-
doctor.
Hold on, settle
Sorry.
down.
Calm
Let me just go on record by saying I had you on the air about 10:15, 10:20 for the podcast show, and I'm like, Lummy, when you getting out? Like, I'm getting out. They just took my lunch deal, and I told the guy, oh, don't even take the lunch deal because I'm not even going to be here for lunch.
No, remember, like at 7 or whatever we talked to him, he said, I'm just waiting for breakfast. As soon as I get breakfast, I'm out.
And my results.
And then like a few hours later, well, I just ordered lunch.
But I told the guy not to even worry about it because I won't be here for lunch.
Yeah, if I'm paying $80,000 for this bill, I want my free lunch.
Lummy,
I got my lunch.
what time did you finally get out of there?
1:32.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
11:06.
was a little bit.
I thought it was later than that, but
No.
yeah.
No, there's a
but-
picture of him leaving. Ashley sent me.
The
On
stupid
Instagram.
doctor, he came in and he goes, I like to, everything's good. I like to apologize. There might have been a mistake. I think there was just an error on your sodium level yesterday. You probably could have left yesterday.
I told you.
Oh my God! And Dan was telling you that the entire time.
I mean, I'm telling the doctor that, and the nurse is fighting. He's like, no.
I can tell that you're not wired the same as me because if I had Dan on my phone and he was like, "Listen, Bubba, your sodium levels are fine," I just wouldn't sit there and take it when they walked in here and told me your sodium levels. I'd be like, "There are." Well, first of all, I'd have Dan. Dan, get your ass down here immediately, please.
You would be the worst patient ever.
No,
He is the worst patient
Yeah,
ever.
you would be. Even Dan
I've
saying that. Your
experienced it.
boyfriend saying
He is
that.
the worst.
You would be the worst.
what do you mean I'm the worst
He's
patient
always
ever?
fighting back, talking back to everybody.
You never follow directions.
Yeah.
You want to do
Okay.
it your way. You're like
Whatever.
Frank Sinatra.
I'd be like, Dan, get your ass in here and do something, please.
Lummy's been he's been eating salt cubes all day, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, your sodium was fine, but now it's really high." We have to keep it here another
So
day."
now we got to,
Oh my God.
This is a horse.
So Lummy, the GI doctor comes in.
No, this is the hospital doctor.
The hospitalist.
Yeah, the hospitalist.
All right, and he comes in and says what? At what time?
Right before I leave, and he's kind of going over everything, and he goes, I just like to let you know your sodium's okay. There was an error yesterday, and you probably could have went home yesterday, but it's better that you
Why would they
you
even
stayed
say
here."
that?
No, you know what I would be saying? I'd be like, I got some lawyers, lots of them, and they're going to be calling in about this bill because you guys obviously, as you just admitted just now, buddy, it kept me probably an extra day,
Yeah.
which with that probably is another 10, 15 grand. So you'll be hearing from Jay and or Dan Diaco about my bill adjustment, my friend.
When you get
Esquires.
if you get like a big copay, I'll look at it.
Okay.
We'll help you with that.
That's what Dan does.
Absolutely.
He breaks that right on down to zero, don't you, Dan?
Yeah, I can knock that down.
Let's see how
My
much
people
that,
know how to do that.
chicken sandwich
Your
was.
people, you let them try to put some medical nonsense in on you, right, buddy?
I'll get on the phone when the right person's on the phone. I'm just not going to sit there and hold for an hour and a half.
But I
trying to
tell you
find the
who
right
will. I'll
a-hole.
tell you who will hold. I'll tell you who will hold for an hour and a half, and then once they and we'll get that widow probably as good as you, certainly more experienced. Mel.
Oh yeah.
At your office.
Oh yeah.
Man, that
She's a
bitch
pit bull.
is straight money.
She's a pit bull.
I've talked to her many a time. She's like, nope, that's not the way it's going, Bubba. I'll be on the phone. Let me do all the late work, and I'll be on the phone later today, and I'll get it. Sure enough, 4:00, she calls me. Oh, it's all handled.
Yeah, she's
That's
great.
awesome.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and pound your chest, buddy. Mel does most of the work around there.
Oh yeah, I'd absolutely hand that off to her or Darlene. That's definitely one of those things I hand off until they hit a roadblock, and then I jump on and knock it over.
Or until they finally get a doctor on the phone,
Right.
and then they get you on there. All right, let me. So they come in at what? 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You thought you were leaving at 10.
Yeah.
And now is your wife with you?
No.
She already left. She'd been there and left.
Yeah, she got there, and then when they said they wanted to take another thing of blood, and it was going to take a little longer, she went home for the dog. And
Let me. Where did they have you IV'd, in your hand or your arm?
they had me on this one and then this one, so they did two.
I will tell you this.
And then they did my hands.
The few times I've gone in for stuff, I have asked them, please do not put them on my upper, my wrist, my arm, my your fist, so to speak, because I always have a reaction.
Those are the worst places for IVs. The antecubital fossa, which is the fold of the elbow, the wrist, and the hand. They all suck. When I have patients come to the TOS, I ask the anesthesiologist, if it's possible, try to start the first IV in the forearm. That part doesn't hurt. There's no joint. Doesn't move. You tape it down. It's a zero. It's a
you
zero
can't
problem.
even see any veins in my forehead. I'm in my forearm.
Well, those are the people that then you have to go to the arm, different parts. But
I'd rather have them do them in the fold of the arm.
Yeah.
That's. I mean,
yeah,
I
but
know
when you bend your elbow to drink or eat or scratch your face, it stops your IV.
Yeah, that's what
I know,
happened
but
to
the
me.
one on top of your hand is the
Those
worst.
hurt. Those hurt.
That's where they had to keep getting my blood for the next 2 days because they
In the
left,
top of your hand.
They left, if you could see, they left the tape on too long, and it ripped all my skin off.
Boo-boo. He's going boo-boo.
It's like ripped the skin off. So then they had to start doing the top of my hands.
You have really sensitive skin.
Yeah.
All right, let me.
super hydrated.
So what are they
tiger.
saying? What are they saying with regards to care hereafter?
No drinking for a year.
No. I just got to eat.
First of all, can I stop you?
Yeah.
Have you had a little nip?
No, I haven't had No, I haven't had
Did you have
anything
one of
like
those? Did Ashley have one of those travel bottles ready to go, kid?
You didn't celebrate yesterday?
that. Heck no.
Lummy,
I was-
Lummy.
no, I didn't.
You
I
didn't
was
go right to the
Probably
7-Eleven
so
get
happy he's feeling good.
you
Yeah.
get you a Gatorade, then throw a travel nip in there, kid.
No. I definitely wasn't thinking that one. No.
The hell you're not, you liar.
No, I don't want to go back there. What I was dealing with. So
So what did they scoped you, right?
Yeah.
Now, so did all the puking cause the tear, or was it the fact that you potentially didn't chew the chip up, good enough, and then when it went back up, it caused the tear? Like, what are they saying?
That's what they said. They kind of described it like a straw, like a paper straw. Like your vein is your blood vessels, like the paper part, and then when all the heat and all your blood went up to it, it got hard, and then when
They
the
meant to
puke
call you
came up-
paper tiger, not paper
pretty
straw.
much.
Yeah.
It ripped it. So it pretty much was a combination of both.
Now, did they tell you were the first person that's come in for the chip challenge? Now, in Pasco County, there's all kinds of hilljacks that have done the chip challenge.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, I got this here chip I got online. It's called the Packy Chip Challenge. Shaq did it like no big deal. You know that there's probably 200 or 300 rednecks a weekend in Pasco County that are chip challenging. Please.
Well,
But they're not fragile like Lummy.
Well, when I got in there on Friday, I didn't know how to say the word. So
Chip? That's a tough one.
Well, no. I did say chip. I'm saying the-
You couldn't sound it out. Chip.
No, I said chip, but I couldn't say the one. Like my brain couldn't wrap
What
around
one?
Let me. Don't
Packy.
don't you think we probably should have dug up the
Wrapper?
the packing, the packaging, so to speak, and they could have seen what the actual ingredients were to better treat you? Did you ever think about that?
Well, I
Or
kind
did
of
you ever think about going online and printing it all
Yeah,
out?
they never wanted any of my stuff. Like I took out my bowel movements, and I took all my puke, and I took I tried to
samples
show them the
or
video.
pictures?
Hold on.
Pictures.
Everybody be quiet. You took I thought you put them in a bucket. and
No,
brought
no,
them.
no. I was taking
Here's my
pictures.
blood. Here's my poop.
And then I was trying to show them the YouTube video.
Ashley, we got 4 buckets. I can only carry 2.
Oh, you were like Dan. You were playing all your stuff for him.
Yeah. And they want to look at it, and then they're like, "What chip? Like a flaming hot Cheeto chip?" But I'm like, "No, there's this chip that's really hot." And they're like, "Oh, like a really spicy chip." And so I started getting exhausted because I was so out of breath.
Why didn't you
that
go?
I gave up.
Why didn't you Google that, buddy?
I couldn't. My fingers. I couldn't type that well.
His fingers are too fat.
No,
or
because
swollen?
my brain. I was so out of it that if I tried to hit a B, I'd hit an E or like.
Well, I mean,
It's a struggle every day already.
Well, I mean, I was
so.
getting ready to say that's a blanket statement we can use for your entire life. My brain.
Well, like everything, I was like 3
oh my
inches
God.
off, and then I passed out. Like I kept blacking out on the table.
I mean, you might be the paperless tiger of all this whole chip deal.
Well, I
I mean,
lost a lot of blood.
we might want to call Packy Chip up and say, listen, we know that you guys are marketing this way, but man, our guy got put in the hospital from it.
Almost died.
Well, I mean, it would be good marketing for him.
Yeah,
It also could be a great lawsuit for him too.
Yeah.
Diaco. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I mean, like Dan. I mean, potentially, are we looking into that?
Dude, I don't think there's a lawsuit there. But we could look into
Probably
it.
on me if there's anything.
Do you want? I mean,
Yeah, you know what? There's no lawsuit there.
there's a big warning.
Yeah, Bubba thought about it. Wait, there's no lawsuit. Let's not
There's
even
no
look into
lawsuit
this.
for eating chips, please.
No.
No.
There's a big warning we went over yesterday.
So, Lummy, you go.
Workman's comp, man. It's in the scope and course of work. He just gets his bill paid.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
And my workman's comp insurance goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Dr. Dan.
So, Lummy, we'll do a Lummy $199 copay show before we do that.
There you go.
So, Lummy, you get there.
Yeah.
And now, so Thursday, which was, the opening of the NFL season, and it's the Bucks hosting the Cowboys. You got tickets for it. Your wife even say it was going to be your last hurrah.
Yeah.
And you even strategically get your ticket so that it's close to a urinal and the whole 9 yards.
Painting the sidewalk red. I mean, you're excited.
You do the Packy Chip Challenge.
Yeah, I bowled earlier that day. Bowled decent.
Well, you bowled after the Packy Chip.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you felt that well afterwards?
No, I thought I did.
He was pretending that he felt okay.
Yeah. I kept having to sit down. It should have taken me like an hour. It took me like almost 2 hours to bowl.
Right.
By
Were you
myself.
have to go poop?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Was it diarrhea then?
Yeah.
No, Dan, what caused
So it was slow then, because if the blood comes down slowly, it turns black. If it's really fast, it stays red.
It was red and then turned black.
Yeah. So Dan.
Well, he said like literally right after the chip challenge, Dan. He went to the bathroom.
But Dan, what we know is what caused the upper GI bleeding, a tear.
Right.
But what caused the butt bleeding?
Isn't it the
same blood.
thing?
The same blood. It just worked. Some went up, some went
It's
down.
one tract. It's your
Okay.
digestive
Yeah, it
tract.
goes out
Starts at the
both.
mouth, ends in the ass.
It's like the paper straw.
Hold on.
There's two
What was
ends
that
to it.
again? It starts in the
Starts at
mouth.
the mouth, ends in the ass.
There you go. Anna doesn't say much when she does. It's very much like E.F. Hutton. People pay
I'm like
attention.
Socrates.
That's a lovely slogan.
So
man.
the ass.
starts in the mouth, ends in the ass.
So the ass blood that he's getting, Dan, is just from the it's just from the blood that's from the tear.
Yes.
That's what's making
Yes.
some of it's
wait, no, hold on a second, Bubba. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's two things that could have caused a little bit of that irritation.
On the ass?
Just the irritation from the hot, spicy food could have caused a little bit of bleeding, which could cause a little bit of black in the stool.
Which, Dan, let's also not forget that he had a gallon of whole milk, a half a bottle of Mylanta, 462
Pepto-Bismol.
Cottage cheese.
462 Tums,
Yeah.
a half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
That's why I threw up. Is all the other crap.
And Bubba poured a bottle of water into his eye and his brain sucked it in.
Yeah.
That's why he's so hydrated
That was
right
probably.
Yes.
That's why his sodium was so low.
I actually probably saved your eyeball at
You
that
did.
point. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, thank
He
you, Bubba.
touched it.
All right,
with the
so-
spit.
Did you notice the twinkle in his eye today? Have you noticed that on
Yeah,
Lummy?
he's
He has
so
an actual
happy.
twinkle in his eye. Maybe because he's not drinking or something. I don't know what it is, but he has
looks-
a
he
twinkle
looks
to his
fresh.
eye.
Later on me.
Huh?
My later on me.
Is it it?
Yes.
All right, so
did they give you more Valium to take home?
he's getting Valium. I'll
No.
trade you Valiums for the things you like.
He was on Valium during the stay, Dan, and he called us on Valium. And it was beautiful. He needs it more often.
So happy.
Valium. We should all do a show on Valium. I'm
What's
just
the
saying.
temperature?
I've never done it before.
I'm just saying we'd all just be like,
I'll bring some in.
Oh, okay.
well, I'll just sit there and not even be able to open
It's not
our
that
mouth.
bad. It's not that bad.
Lummy, it's 74 degrees
What?
blank.
Degrees Fahrenheit.
There you
Dan,
go.
he wasn't part of the show yesterday.
I know. He heard that part. He did laugh.
So Lummy, so you get you do the chip challenge. You're having unbelievable complications. You're puking.
Yeah.
I talked to you later that day. You're like, I think I'm going to be okay. You missed now. Do you attempt to go to the football game?
Yeah. Well, I went to first. I actually we had a baby doctor meeting, And I made it there. And I
Baby
started
doctor meeting.
And him, his
Baby and the
wife,
doctor met each other.
and Wilbur participated.
Yeah, they had a meeting.
It
It was like an intervention.
So are you saying you had like an OBGYN appointment?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like a checkup, and I went there and we
Like
went
a
in-
prenatal deal?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I made it about 3 minutes because I passed out in there.
When you pass out, what do you say? You literally just fall over like the way I feel right now?
I started getting woozy, and I told her I had, and the only thing they had was a chair, so I laid on the
Ashley,
floor.
I'm getting woozy. I know.
So you laid
We're
on the
here.
floor at a doctor's office and left.
Yeah, well, and then went in my truck because I couldn't
So
stop sweating.
what was the doctor saying?
No
Well,
concern. No concern.
What was the
Well,
doctor?
the doctor wasn't in there yet. I made sure I got out of there, but I wandered out to my truck.
So you're saying while you guys are waiting for the doctor, you lay on the floor?
Yeah. Oh, there's a picture.
Oh my God.
That's me.
It's like ass in the air. Normal Friday night.
Yeah.
Hold on. So hold on.
There's a pillow he's fighting.
So Ashley, she's up in the examination table.
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
Stirrup Willie,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you're on your hands like you're praying, like you're
He's waiting for her.
on one of those prayer towels that the
Yeah.
the Muslims.
Facing east.
Yeah.
There you go.
I couldn't
It's
stand- I
Ramadan.
couldn't
Yeah,
stand
you're
up.
on Ramadan.
It's Ramadan.
So at this point, before the doctor comes in to check her TT, did she send you back out to the truck?
Well, I did. I said I need to go outside and just cool off because I had to wear a mask and I thought I couldn't breathe because I was having trouble breathing. So I wandered out and then I made it to my truck and slept in my truck for like an hour.
That would have been so scary as a nurse seeing him wander through the halls.
I think it
Like,
was.
what the hell?
Because I was
Puking up
Passed
blood
out.
as he's walking by.
Knowing that he's
out.
going to be a dad,
Like
just
Frankenstein.
some little fetus that's inside a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Well, plus I was
Room
pouring,
3B.
I was pouring sweat wearing a Let Me Investigate shirt.
that was
too,
at
so.
that was at 3:45 on Thursday.
All right, so let me. You get back, and I think like at 5, you were laying down, right?
Yeah, I went and laid
trying
in
to
bed.
lay down before the game.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
at this point, you haven't thrown up blood. You just feel horrible.
Now, are you still
He threw
throwing up?
He threw up blood during the thing here.
Yeah, he was throwing up and pooping
And-
here.
and-
So right afterwards is when you got violently sick.
No, during.
That's what I'm saying. Like during the process of it,
Yeah,
you start throwing up violently.
and then like literally like 10 to 20 minutes after the event, he went to the bathroom and you were like you pooped blood too, right?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
but
right,
that's,
right then, like
yeah.
instantly, Dan.
That was still here in the building, correct?
so he
Yeah.
tore
Oh,
it
yeah.
right, he tore it right away.
Yeah.
So now, Lummy, so you go and try to do the OBGYN. That's at 3:30. What? No. So from here you go and bowl, right?
And that's when
Yeah, I know
Ashley, when they were at the doctor's, that's when Ashley started texting me like, "Hey, he's not well. Something's wrong." Like, and then she sent me that picture.
of him praying to the east.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right. So you go from the OBG, you go from praying to the you go from here to bowling.
Yeah.
You bowl.
I bowled.
Takes you
Pretty
2
good.
hours.
Yeah.
You got diarrhea
The whole time.
Now, are you puking?
No puking yet.
Just diarrhea.
Yeah.
It's just the blood
How many
coming down.
instances of diarrhea did you have?
Probably about 14.
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
dude.
That
No,
didn't
not a
cause-
point. I'm saying like from that whole day.
No, I'm talking about
bowling?
while at the
Just
bowling.
bowling.
Oh, four.
So you poop 4
So
times.
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god!
all of it like
It's
you
all,
know?
it's all it's like coal black.
Okay,
Oh.
that's the Pepto-Bismol that's trying to harden
That's exactly
the
what
diarrhea.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what that is.
So you pre-bowl, you go home. You got such a busy day. If I got like 2 or 3 things I got to do,
Oh,
it ruins my day.
Hold on. We were supposed to go to the pregame
Yeah.
thing. Me and Lummy were.
Lummy, you
Ed
need
Sheeran thing.
Yeah.
you need to settle down a little bit. Like,
Gotta
just
get it in.
had the sickness not set in, you were going to do a show, go pro bowling, go to the NFL experience,
Yep.
go to the game. I mean, Lummy,
And the doctor's office.
On
Yeah.
a Thursday night.
yeah. So you're at bowling, you poop 4 times.
Yeah.
You then go home, pick up Ashley, take her to the OBGYN deal to get her TT checked,
Yeah.
and little Wilbur.
Yeah.
Or did
Wow.
she drive you?
She drove me.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys get there. She's up in stirrups. You're praying to the east on the ground. You're actually on the ground praying to the east.
Yeah.
She says, you need to go and get out of here. You're embarrassing me.
Pretty much.
And you're a drunk and you're a paper tiger.
Yep.
And so you go and wander the parking lot a little bit, end up in your truck, and you sleep for an hour
Yeah. Until
while she's getting her appointment.
Yeah, shirtless with the air blowing on me.
He doesn't look like an IV drug user.
I was soaking wet and I was sweating the whole time. The air was on.
Oh my
God.
But were you napping?
Huh?
But were you
Oh,
napping?
yeah, I was napping.
Okay, so and poor Ashley, think about this. She's up there getting checked, and she just knows deep in her heart her little husband's going to come in there, soon,
Hold her
and be
hand,
part of the process.
Rub the
Yeah.
tummy.
Right. He just needed a moment outside. 10, 15
Right.
minutes, he'd be back in. She completes the whole deal. It's well over an hour, and he's passed out in his truck.
Yeah.
Right, with his mouth open, too.
At this point, I'm sure in Lummy's mind, he's thinking, okay, well, I don't feel good. Something's definitely wrong. However, an hour or so nap, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll wake up. I'll be fine. And we'll go
Right.
to the game.
Right.
Exactly.
I'll just sleep it off.
Yeah.
I'll sleep off the blood.
That's
So,
pretty much
Lummy,
what I
you
thought.
go. She gets.
Poor guy.
Does she get in the truck and be like, I waited, or was she just checking on you? Like,
Well,
when she got back in the
Like,
truck,
what was her demeanor?
Well, she kind of looked at me and
were you sitting in the passenger side or the driver's?
the driver's side. Well, I was laying across the whole thing. I was laying the passenger.
She looked at him with such a disdain.
Across the center
Disgust.
console.
Well, because
Hey, laid there, passed out, shirtless in sweat.
yeah. So, well, I guess she said when I got up, I wasn't making any sense. Like there was no speech.
Like more than
So
usual.
you were fine.
Yes, I was fine. So
Normal.
she pretty much I got in the back seat, and when I got in the back seat, I got really claustrophobic and started freaking out, and then had her stop, and then threw up on the side of the road.
You had invisible fire?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No way.
You had a Ricky Bobby, but Dan at Sebring type
she
incident.
told me he was freaking out.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And then on
No,
the side
no,
of 75, she
no,
stopped, and I got out.
Now, just mind
Ran
you.
across the street.
Now, just mind you. This is your husband who's 2 weeks for becoming a new father, and this is the type of stuff he's carrying on.
Yeah.
Most couples that went to the last prenatal, they walked in like Dan and Romina, they were real professional, and there's very much just real quick procedure, and then they drove back home, maybe stopped and got something to eat. Lummy's on the side of 75 has an invisible fire.
Throwing up blood.
So
That's the man. That's the guy that's getting ready to be your baby daddy.
So-
it's
Oh
a
my
guy
God.
that has an invisible fire.
Yeah. Ashley texted me that he's in the back seat freaking out, and my reply was,
BBC too.
"Is he too old to drop off at the fire station?" And she said, "I don't think he'll fit in the box." And then she asked, "Can I just drop him off with Bubba? I'm way too pregnant to have to deal with this."
Yeah. So mind you,
And that was before
she
the
got
hospital.
annoyed. She got
Yeah.
annoyed.
So now,
to the
mind you,
hospital.
she's 8 months and like 3 weeks
No,
pregnant.
9
She's like
months.
9 and
9
almost
months.
10
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. I mean, she's poor thing.
Nine and a
She's
half.
ready to. I mean, it's coming. It's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
here in the next 10 days.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no question.
It's here.
I'm surprised that she didn't go into labor when she was so stressed out about Lummy.
Now,
No.
Dan, does stress sometimes cause labor?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happened to my
Poor
friend
thing.
like 7 months ago. Her
No.
dog died. She put it down. She came home. She was crying and her water broke. Went to the hospital,
Ouch.
gave birth.
If Ashley didn't cry every night, she wouldn't be
Yeah,
so resilient.
She's used to it.
Her body doesn't recognize crying anymore.
Remember that show that we watched with Kevin Costner?
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, yes.
Hold
Remember-
on. Stop.
Remember
How do you
that
call that
show?
just...
I
You know
thought you were
what?
thinking Field of Dreams.
How do you call that just a show? It's one of the greatest...
No, it is.
No, but
Cinematic production.
it was awesome. But I'm talking about. I'm just trying to get to a reference. I'm not trying to like blow up the show, but there's a scene where he said, I'm just wondering what disaster is going to happen today. I wonder if Ashley wakes up like that every morning.
She does. She wakes up like Kevin
That's
Costner.
how I wake up every morning before I head here.
She's Ashley Dutton, and she wakes up wanting to know what type of lummy nonsense do I have to deal with today? Can I just live my life and not have a nearly 40-year-old kid as well? Hi, my name is Ashley. I have 2 kids. I have a baby that's coming out of my vagina in about a week, and then I got my husband. And I don't know which one's tougher at this point. I haven't had the other one yet.
That day was pretty tough.
So, Lummy, you go back. You're having a Ricky Bobby invisible fire type deal
Yeah.
on 75.
Yeah.
Does she have to get
You
out of
rolling
the
around
car?
in the grass?
Now, Lummy, does she get out of the car, or does she just let you do your thing?
She lets me do my thing.
and she realizes she'll be back?
Yeah.
She put out flares so the
She
cars
doesn't-
wouldn't hit you.
She doesn't even come and try to comfort him while she just says, he'll just give him a few. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I threw up on the side and I wandered back.
Right.
Oh,
So
you threw up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he's thrown up the entire time. So you go back home. I think this is where I start texting you, and you're like, I'm laying down. I should be okay.
Yeah.
Because you were going to lay down before the ball game.
Yeah. I was going to lay down
Because
for
you
a couple hours.
you had tickets for Clearwater. I'm sorry,
The
Clearwater. Yeah. Dallas Cowboys versus Bucks went right down to the wire. Tom Brady had to march him, 65, 70 yards with 1:04 left. Boom, suck up, nailed it. We win the game, no time left. It was just an unbelievable ball game.
No sunburn.
Yeah. Lummy, do you attempt to go to the game and turn around?
No, we got there, we parked.
Hold on, you got to the game.
Yeah, remember he was throwing up in the big gulp?
Yeah, he paid for parking.
Yeah, because we want to get in, and I said, look, I'm going to suck it up because we really want to go, and she kind of was like, whatever, I'm going to suck it up. So I'm walking super slow, so she kind of was getting annoyed with me, but I couldn't walk any faster.
And she's pregnant.
Yeah, and she's a trooper, though. That woman knows how to have fun. She's a big Bucks fan.
Yeah.
She likes doing stuff like this. And
she's
God
more of a
bless her
Miami
being-
fan, but
but still,
she's a sports
she
fan.
will get out and go.
Oh, yeah.
And
So we got
she
it.
supports her man. I mean, just think how tough it is to be on the other side of Lummy.
Oh my
right?
God.
Yeah.
On the backside of Lummy.
Well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Open game.
Thanks. Well, so yeah.
So you guys, do you actually sit in your seats?
Yeah, for like
you
about
get
2
into
series.
the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
thought you stopped right before you got to the
I didn't know you made it in.
No, I puked before the stadium, but I was going to go in.
Sir, we need to medal on you. Just wait though, okay? Why? I got to puke.
I'm puking and pooping blood.
I bet you they may have some type of policy, like we think you're sick policy, that if you puke right at the gate before they're getting ready to magic wand you,
and
see if
blood.
you got
they're going to think you got COVID.
Well, it's all blood, too.
But they're going to think he's got some kind of infectious disease. I'm amazed that they did let him in.
They didn't see me at the gate.
They didn't see
it. Was like when I was walking up, I was right around like a bush corner, and I threw up in the cup.
Puked in the bush, so I didn't get. They let me in.
Yeah, then I started feeling really good once I puked that all up.
All right, now how much blood on the final puking before entry into the game? What type of volume we talking?
Is that the picture?
It filled the whole cup.
Is that what the picture was?
Oh my
that
God.
That
You're
was
talking
the last
about
one.
You filled an entire cup.
Yeah, I filled the entire cup.
Blood, straight blood.
Straight blood. Well, I mean, it was a mixture. I guess they said of water and
Food
blood.
and water.
Did you see the blood on the sidewalk picture, Bubba?
No.
Oh my God!
He didn't send it to you.
I didn't see it.
Nobody said
I didn't really
dude,
know how many people.
We can't show it. I have it.
You can't show that.
We can't show it.
It's vile.
Well,
It looks like a bowling ball full of blood. That's that much.
Could you send it to me privately? I mean, I won't be able to.
Can I?
This was the last of it.
Oh my
Now,
God! Dude. It looked like a miscarriage.
Now, Lummy, is this the puke right before you went into the game?
No, this was the one right outside the game, but it's the same exact stuff. That's when I knew I was in trouble.
No, hold on. So which puke is this, buddy?
Second to last before the game?
Yeah, this is second to last.
He puked in the cup going into the gate so no one would see it. He puked on the sidewalk walking up to the stadium and just let people walk in it.
Dan tells the story far better than the person.
Let me need a translator.
Yeah, Lummy is so stupid.
I sent it to Bubba and Anna
Me
just
too,
now.
sorry.
All right, I'm still waiting for it to.
It's sending right now.
Well, on your damn Android.
Well,
Yeah, the Android is
ridiculous. Oh my God, Lummy!
That's what I'm saying.
And half the grass is full of it too.
Yeah.
Isn't that scary?
It looks like a miscarriage.
Lord.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like I wasn't exaggerating. It looks like a freaking miscarriage.
Oh,
okay, yeah, don't show
man,
it.
no, I'm not showing it. Wow, Lummy. So, but you're still like, okay, that's just a little puke.
That's cool.
Well, I started feeling
Meanwhile,
good.
it looks like a murder scene.
Yeah, well,
Like it's like the normal human being would be like, listen, we have to go to we have to turn around and go to the hospital now.
I
Not
didn't wanna
Lummy.
miss the
Not
game
Lummy.
Lummy's like,
and the pregame thing.
listen, the 99.99% of people would be going immediately to the hospital, but no, I'm going to puke one more time in a cup and try to make it to 325.
no, you know what it looks like? It looks like somebody opened a giant can of that cranberry,
And dropped it.
What's
yeah.
the chunks in it? Is that just food?
Blood clot.
Oh my God.
Oh, for real, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been it.
Clots of blood, dude. It's like 200 cc's, 300 cc's of blood right there.
Lummy, did you eat anything that day at all?
No.
Yeah.
All
all
right.
blood.
So, Lummy,
Yeah.
I see you puke on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then you puke one more time into a cup.
Yeah.
And then now do you actually get in and make it to your seat?
Yeah. I went and got a water. And we sat down and started watching the first drive. And then I'm sitting there and I just wasn't feeling well.
Plus, you're 400 feet above the ground. I mean, you're in the
Yeah. It was,
Where were you sitting?
three what?
Well, I mean, honestly, it was like 126, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Oh, you weren't 300 level?
They
No, we
get good
moved down.
seats, man.
Oh,
He
you're
gets good
120.
seats.
You're 126.
Yeah.
He's a player.
You're practically warming up with them,
We're
aren't you?
kind of
Lummy?
below, we're kind of below Dr. Dan's box.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
That's great. Those are great seats.
Yeah.
Well, they were, but so I stood up because there was a lot of people.
They
there.
were till I ruined it.
Yeah, and then I
Now, why'd you have to agree to that?
No, I ruined it. I said.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I ruined it. So I said I had to go to the bathroom. I told her that. And when I started walking up, I started getting dizzy. And I had to lean against the ice machine because I was about to pass out.
Because Dan, I mean, let me stop being a paper tiger here. He's lost a significant amount of blood.
He's lost like a quarter of his blood volume, and he's still pushing forward.
He's still forging
that
through.
guy.
Yeah.
So then I made it to the bathroom, and I went to I had more diarrhea.
So you're so you're in the bathroom, diarrhea.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that sounded like?
Yeah.
Lummy moans.
And it's blood at this point, or is it black coal?
It was blood and black coal.
Oh, make sure.
Blood and black coal. That's another new country record.
Did your sphincter even work still? I mean, were you able to hold it, or you just?
I can hold it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, otherwise
It's strong.
Yeah.
All right. So
Like bowl.
So Lummy,
it's all wallowed out.
You have diarrhea.
Yeah.
You go back. You couldn't hardly make it to the bathroom because you're lightheaded because you've lost 25% of your blood.
Did you really?
And well, it's what Dan said.
Quarter?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
He
exaggerating.
lost based on his hematocrit.
You don't know that a quarter equals 25%.
No. I didn't know if Dan was just using that as like being like exaggerating, or if that was a rough estimate.
At that point, he had lost a quarter of his blood volume, and ultimately he lost almost half of his blood volume. His hematocrit was almost half of what it should have been.
And when do you die?
About 60%.
So he was within 10 points of being,
Oh yeah,
in a casket right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically told him that had he waited any longer, he was going to get a full transfusion.
Yeah, he's so lucky he didn't get transfusion.
Why?
Because
transfusions aren't good for you, aren't they, Dan?
There's two reasons. Number one is it's someone else's blood. And
so
number
just
two,
a problem that it could not be compatible, or
no, they check for compatibility.
Yeah.
The problem is that you don't know what's in it, and so are they screening it for X, Y, and Z? I have a friend that got a blood transfusion and got hepatitis C from it back in the day before they were screening for it. So you don't know what you're getting when you get blood. People don't really
you could have got my blood. I'm O positive. I could have given you just
I know. I could have been.
You're O positive too?
Yeah, I'm O positive.
I get some blood.
Oh, sweet. I could have Dr. Dan and Bubba.
Can you imagine how much swagger you'd have then now
Oh,
today?
yeah.
Man, you'd be the real man. All right, so you go back, I'm assuming, to Ashley.
Well, she was waiting for me, and she's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna go." Because it took me a couple minutes to find where she was. Like I started blacking out, walking toward her.
I'm lost, sir. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm lost. But you're a 40-year-old man. How do you get lost? Usually, we only have kids get lost.
Well, I started
because I did the chip challenge today, and I'm light on a little bit low on blood.
Sir, what kind of chip?
The Manny Pacquiao chip.
Oh, so you got punched in the face?
Yeah, it's a chip that punches you in the face. So, Lummy, you finally make it back to Ashley.
Yeah, and then I started.
Poor
looking
thing,
for
she's
medical.
just there pregnant, trying to involve the. So hold on, you're at Ray J, and now you start looking for medical.
Well, just in case I fall over, because I started blacking out. Like I started feeling real.
Did you
woozy.
realize you were dying? At
No.
what point did you realize that you were dying?
Did you ever decide to sit
Sunday?
down? They have EMTs and paramedics at the game. You know that.
Yeah,
Well, I had a
some of them are hot, too.
sip of pink lemonade, and then I started feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, that's
so.
good for you. All
So I'll
that
fix it.
A little
acid.
sugar. A little sugar.
Sir, we're recommending you not go to the emergency room. Just buy a $7 pink lemonade. That should be no problem. That'll get your electrolytes and your sugar lights right back to where you need.
your sugar lights.
In this commemorative cup.
Yeah.
That you can throw open later.
So, Dan, they do have on-site EM.
Tons.
Like even for like
Yes.
people that have heart attacks.
Yes, yes, multiple.
So he could have sat down, called any usher, and said, "I need medical attention."
Yeah, he would have been on
Can
TV.
you bring the crash cart?
Yeah, but I didn't want to
please?
be that guy though. That's the thing. That's why I wanted.
Drop
But you
down
were
the
that
steps.
guy.
Well, I
But
mean,
Lummy, it might have been cool if you were that guy. We would have got a report. We finally can make it on Channel 28.
It would have been big news if they had to roll out someone from the stands in the stretcher, and then like you do one last good puking of blood on the steps going up on some of the other fans.
But if
that
I
would
can,
have been awesome.
but if I can one up you a little bit, and then when Channel 13 reports it, they actually go, guy that did chip challenge earlier that day has to have EMTs escort him from the they don't say.
Bubba the Love Sponge sends another person to the hospital.
Well, you're right.
Yeah, not great press.
Almost kills co-host.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when they'll report it.
At least they say your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. So, how low has Bubba the Love Sponge stooped now? Well, he does this Pacquiao chip challenge with his co-host, sends him to the game. Guy has to get stretchered out of the game because he's down to 50% blood volume. with poor pregnant wife. Bubba doesn't even care about, pregnant women. Bubba. This is what the headline would say.
Yep.
Bubba hates pregnant women.
Yeah, definitely.
Long-time resident shock jock Bubba the Love Sponge has stooped so low in his career is in such the crapper that he has to send a co-host whose wife is 9.6 months pregnant to the ball game upon doing a chip challenge so that he needs a medical media intervention. Now, the only thing that would have been worse is if Ashley would have had the baby at Ray J.
At the same time.
That's awesome.
And while tending to her husband, Ashley Garrison's water broke, and Lummy, then little Walker could be like the Bucks baby, and he could be like,
They're both on stretchers holding hands.
yeah. Lummy, you know how we
God.
have like that one guy who's like the ultimate fan. I think he's even in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he can't. That's
Big
nothing.
nasty.
Yeah, big
That's
nasty.
just some dude that dresses up. Walker could have been born, right at the game.
A baby nasty.
With Dr. Dan delivering them.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop it right out.
You should have
Throw
gone.
that thing in the air like Simba.
You should have gone down to the Diaco box. You got two doctors in there. You got Daddy Joe.
You got snacks.
You got snacks, and you got Dan. Dan could have delivered the baby. Joe could have told you how stupid you were for eating that chip. And the Bucks baby.
Kaloran would have held you down.
Perfect.
And Walker would have been born right there in the Bucks box. Now, Dan, I know a lot of things have happened in your Bucks box, but I don't know that you've had a birth yet.
No, sir, not yet.
Yeah. So, Lummy, I gotta go into words, but we're going to have to continue your story. We haven't even got you to the hospital yet.
No, I haven't gotten
Now,
back
what's your
there.
prognosis? Like, are they saying you need to take it easy? You need to,
What can't you eat right now?
But I just got to eat like soft foods.
like cottage cheese?
Well, they gave you toast yesterday for breakfast.
Stupid.
White toast, though. White toast. Not wheat.
Yeah, but it's not bread. It was toasted.
Yeah, it was toasted.
It's stupid. Don't eat like Cuban bread. Don't eat any
No,
crackers.
I
Don't eat
mean-
anything that's hard. You know,
So
just,
probably not toast.
Yeah.
no toast is
I mean, Dan,
stupid.
you should eat like cottage cheese and soup and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, just
Yogurt, pudding.
I got some yogis.
I've been eating like fruits and soups.
Lemmy's been
Fruits and
eating
soups.
Cheez-Its and toast.
If he blends them, he can
He's
have
already
smoothie.
he's already sandpapered his incision right back.
Would you like some of these hot
being,
chips?
being open. Now, Lummy, would you do the chip challenge again?
No.
Oh, you're
no.
such a pussy.
Oh, whatever.
Because
Why don't you do it, Dan?
Hootie Hoo, handful of pills is scheduled to be in here tomorrow. But I was talking to Blitz today. I was like, maybe we just ought to stay out of the chip challenge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we should just say,
Put it to rest.
yeah.
Move on.
I've gotten so much heat from this. But what if Hootie handful of pill comes in and nails it? It's like no big deal.
He'll be the belt holder.
Well, then at the end of the day, Lummy, it makes you look stupid, and you're the champ. I don't want to make you look stupid.
And we need a heat update with you too, Bubba.
Heat.
Oh, there's so much heat.
Huh?
With what?
My family.
Yeah, so during the after show yesterday, during the podcast.
Lummy,
Did anyone get back to you, mom or sister?
Right, that's what I want to know.
No.
No one
Nothing.
did?
Zero.
Lummy,
Yeah.
you've gotten me so much heat. This whole thing is just
This is not the
Like,
move.
how dare you, Lummy?
What did I do? I every time Tara and Tarek text, I said it wasn't your fault. It was all my fault.
Well, that
They
you
don't
can't.
see it that way.
They can't. You
Well,
can't
that's
tell
why
women.
I'm
First of all,
trying.
you can't tell women anything. When women have something in their head, you can have You can have all the evidence in the world, and they're still not going to change their minds.
I was
What
live on.
evidence is that?
I was live on Facebook last night, Bubba, and your mom was on there.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
And she doesn't go on my lives on Facebook anyway.
Patrick 81 1,000 bits and had left testicle 1,000 bits.
Now, Lummy, when we're doing hype trains and doing various things,
Yes.
you can't get. You're going to have to be probably. I don't know that they want you screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get too
It's a
excited.
I
whisper
mean, Dan, you're a
train.
doctor, so I'm saying like I got to think projecting like straining like that, could potentially
The bearing
be
down
an issue.
Yeah, bearing down when you strain is called valsalva, and so whenever you strain, yell.
easy on the Valsalva, Lummy. Okay,
Yes, sir.
It's a
What's
whisper
it-
train.
what's it called?
It's a whisper train. It's,
No.
I don't know. I don't know how to say the word. El
Val-
Salvador?
Yeah, it's El Salvador.
El
Be
Salvador.
careful on your
Exactly.
El Salvador. Yes,
El
exactly.
Salvador.
Make sure
Exactly.
you have your passport.
Valsalva.
Val Salvador.
Valsalva.
Valsalva.
There you go.
I'll spell that.
Ecuador. I don't know what it is, El Salvador or Ecuador, but Bubba said to whisper. You don't have to whisper, but you don't have to be like, hierarchy 65 with 10,000 bed. Like, when you project like that, I can even feel it having like, pressure in your windpipe, right, Dan? I mean, your esophagus is your esophagus your windpipe?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, your trachea. Esophagus is your food pipe.
So he got cut from like the Adam's apple on down.
He got cut in his esophagus, but when you bellow out through your trachea, you're still bearing down.
Through your esophagus.
Right.
Now, Lummy, how far down did they say your tear/cut was?
Well, they said when the tear was like, I think.
Slow down.
I was really excited, man. Sitting in that hospital bed yesterday, watching the hype train go on, I was like wanting to call it out. So
all right, well
sorry.
Lummy's. Hey, don't mind the guy in 5B. He talks to himself. What do you mean? He calls out bits. We don't even know. We don't even know what's going on down there. Like he's got some torn esophagus, but it makes him insane. He goes like, it's just amazing. He's got all these friends in there, but there's nobody in there.
He said his balls hurt. I don't understand why.
Yeah, my balls hurt, so I cheered.
They said the one of the main rips was right by the stomach line, like right where it connects.
So it made it that far down.
Yeah.
Right, Dan? That's relatively pretty far down, ain't it?
But that's where you tear.
Now,
that tear was not from the chip. It was from throwing up.
How did they fix it?
They stick a tube down there and they cauterize it.
Oh, so they did cauterize it. Because Lummy said they stitched him up.
Well, they said they had another thing, too, they could have done, like some tubing or metal staple, like something, so...
They can also sometimes put, like, little beads in there to occlude it.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, isn't cauterizing the best because it's kind of like flesh welding, so to speak?
Except for the lining of the GI tract is thin, and if you cauterize it too much, you damage the lining and can create a hole.
Oh. So I mean, are these GI specialists really? I mean, they're probably pretty talented men, right? I mean,
you would hope so. I mean, I
think in your business they say you got good hands or not, right?
Right.
Like if you like
the guys that do the upper GIs do tons of them, and they should be very proficient at it.
And so you stick.
But you can still have a problem.
You stick this tube down. Now, Lummy, did you see what the tube looked like? Were they showing it to you?
No. He was asleep.
They pretty much just put like this, like almost like a ball gag in my mouth, and then that was it. I was out.
I just want to let you know, I don't know if I'm getting ready to do a procedure or not, but usually this is how most Friday nights start over at my place.
They put a thing in my mouth.
And it's Sunday, so I don't know what's going on.
He sees a big black tube. He gets excited.
Usually my wife's here when we're doing this sort of thing. Is she coming today? You guys, did my wife call and tell me to get you prepped? Hi, this is Ashley Warrison. I'm getting come to see my son. My husband, and I'm carrying my son. And could you have 5B prepped, like fully ball gagged, and some lidocaine around the BH?
Am I on punked? Okay, guys, let's see the cameras. I'm on punked. I know it.
Now, Dan, you guys do have like numbing cream that you put on people's faces, right?
Yes.
Like a lot of times, if you're going to do Botox, it's this cream that kind of has like a topical numbing deal.
Yeah, it's lidocaine cream.
Could
5%?
Could Ashley start using that for things?
Yeah, but it would take away half the fun.
Oh,
Lummy.
okay.
You wouldn't feeling.
Yeah. It's all about the feeling.
So, Lummy,
I'm feeling full.
Now they come in. Do they do this scoping in your room, or they have to take you down to the?
They took me to an emergency or a surgery room.
Right.
Yeah, if they put him to sleep, they got to have monitors and stuff.
All right. So they put him in an operating room.
They put me on my side, and then they started giving me oxygen, and then they gave me this like it was like a little circle to like make sure I didn't bite my teeth. So they could put the tube through
like
it.
a bit
Yeah,
deal.
it's a mouth block. It's like a mouth guard with a hole in it.
Like a
with
dental dam kind of deal.
Yes, but it's got a hole in it so they can put the tube in.
Oh,
A medical
Like,
ball gag.
holds his mouth open.
I wish we had video of this.
I asked them before they knocked me out. I said, "Are you guys gonna have video or take pictures of this?" I think they thought I was crazy.
They said yeah for their personal use.
Yeah.
But then
So Lummy, so they put you TT99.
Yeah.
And how long are you under for?
I think I was under for like 45 minutes.
That sounds right.
Dan, is that about what the procedure takes?
Yep.
So they take this.
Well, hold on. We got to back up. We were still at the Bucks game when we left off last.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And Blitz, if you could send me a maybe Google what one of these. Dan, what would he be Googling for the instrument that they use? What it's
ERCP.
Okay. If
Or
you could
upper endoscope.
send me that. So let me. You're at the Bucks game.
Yeah.
You are like the first couple drives, and you tell Ashley, I think we got to go.
Well, no, I said I got to go to the bathroom, And then she just took upon herself to get up because she saw me walking up the stairs and like starting to wander, and then had to stop halfway and like just
Poor
take a
thing's
break.
pregnant half, and now she has to chase her husband.
Yeah.
It's like Joe Biden. He's
Like Joe Biden trying to go from
just lost.
the Oval Office to the helicopter. He gets lost every time.
Silver alert in the White House,
Joe,
the West Wing.
Joe, see that helicopter? It's on the lawn. Yeah. You go out that door and you just walk right to it. It's big and blue and green. Okay. Okay. They're not even going to have it turned on until they get you in there. Okay. But see that helicopter right there, Joe? Yeah. Go through that door and walk to that helicopter.
Follow the trail of breadcrumbs.
He's in the back area, pool area, with his floaties on. I thought we were swimming today, huh? So, Lummy, your wife automatically sees that you're struggling.
Yeah, well,
so she follows you to the restroom.
Yeah, then
she's a hell of a woman.
Yeah, she.
Because if I was with my wife or date or something, and I don't know. I mean, I got the Bucks opening drive. She looks like she's okay. I'm not gonna go.
Stop bugging me.
Yeah, but Bubba, if you take a date to a game and they're throwing up blood on the way in and they can barely stand up and hold themselves up, I don't think I'm going to be staying for the game.
But man, I'm like, I don't want to go to the hospital and deal with this nonsense.
Give her an Uber.
It's kind of what I told her.
So, Lummy, she follows you to the bathroom. You stay in there. You have straight diarrhea.
Yeah.
You come out. Does she say, listen, I think we need to go to the hospital.
I think we need to part ways.
Well, she said, I think we need to leave. And I said, yeah, probably best, because I was waiting for her to say that. So I thought I was just
Now, what if
dehydrated.
Ashley had say, hey, listen, Scope, honey, we can't miss this game. I paid $500 for these tickets.
Yeah, I think she kind of was over it. Well, actually, I would have went back to the seats. I mean, that's the reason.
Actually, she's a woman, and she's getting ready to be a mom, and she probably just have some type of instinct that there was not a good, how moms are.
Yeah, when they saw the bucket of blood.
They know. Moms know.
That instinct kicked in.
She's like, I gotta get him out of here. He's not doing good. This is going to end up bad.
Well, so I was still thinking it was.
This is going to end up worser than it already is.
Yeah.
So much worse, sir.
Yeah. So, are you from level 126? Now, where did you guys park?
We parked by Jesuit.
Oh my God! That's like 7 blocks, 8 blocks.
Damn! I mean, Lummy.
How did you walk that?
Lummy, that's a long walk.
Yeah, I know.
And you did it?
Well, yeah.
To save what, $4?
Well, there was not much parking by the time we got down there. It was packed.
Yeah, by the time Dan's entire family parks in that first level, I mean, there's not much left.
Yeah.
So Lummy, that's a 15-minute walk all day.
Yeah. I made it there.
All right, so you walk. Now, while you're from the game to Jesuit High, which is where you park, did you puke or poop or anything during that?
No, I was kind of just drinking water at that point.
But you had to be so lightheaded. I mean,
I was.
Dan, at this point, he's lost a lot of blood, right?
Yeah, about half of his blood, and I can't believe he made the walk.
I thought I was just dehydrated, so I was just down in water.
And the person helping him is 9.5 months pregnant.
Right, God bless her little soul.
Oh, my God.
That's a bitch of the year right there.
She needs a strap.
Ashley's awesome.
Yeah, I need to give her the strap.
Yeah, she's poor thing.
So,
She already has one, trust me.
it's called the Latin Whopper. Lummy, did you?
It's uncircumcised.
Lummy, when you're talking to your doctor, you're supposed to be completely honest with him, right?
Yeah.
Right. So did you ask, hey, doc, I know my esophagus is cauterized, but when can my wife resume making love to me? We like to do that. I like to peg.
Did he give you some courtesy stitches?
Oh, my God.
Did you ask that question, though, Lummy?
Wife stitch.
Did you ask the question?
No, I didn't, because they didn't mess with the backside, so I figured it was all good to go.
So did the backside, Dan, started remedy once they cauterized the esophagus deal? Did his blood probably stop?
Oh, yeah.
Tremendously.
Exactly.
Well, we could probably ask him. Has it?
Yeah, it stopped.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Well,
Lummy,
that's where the wound is, yeah.
did the blood stop then? So by the time you left yesterday, I don't think your butt was an issue anymore, was it?
No.
No
Right.
butt
It was
problems.
just the esophagus.
Yeah.
Right. So you leave the game, you walk, 6.4 miles to Jesuit High.
Yeah.
And does she take you right to the emergency room?
No, I said
No, they
let's
went
go.
home.
Well, first I said let's go get my truck.
Hold on. Now you're gonna start. Now you're gonna drive with
Well,
half the
'cause
blood.
I had to make it here in the morning, so I told her to drive me to my truck so I could drive it home.
Where was your truck at?
It was
Here?
at the doctor's. The
Oh, okay. So you guys met at the doctor's
Yeah, we
and
met
then
at the
rode in
doctor's.
together. Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
gotcha.
at the OBGYN.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Now where's that at?
that's New Tampa.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of on the way where you kind of need to go.
Yeah.
All right. So does she do that?
Yeah, she drops. I tell her I'm good enough. I have like a little bit of more lemonade, and she stops and gets me Gatorade.
Now, realistically, Dan, no matter what, because it wasn't a nutritional or hydration thing, so it doesn't really matter if he's drinking Gatorade or anything with electrolytes or water, because those things don't replace blood, right, bud?
To a point, they can help with volume.
Yeah.
And so there's blood and there's volume. And so
But he needs blood.
He needs blood, but he lost a lot of volume, which is why he was so like physically weak as well.
Right.
And lightheaded. So replacing the volume with fluid helps, but then that can further dilute your hematocrit and make the blood count go lower. So it's good temporarily, it just doesn't work long term.
All right, let me see. You go get your truck. You drive back home.
Yeah.
And at that point, man, she's like, we got to go to the hospital.
Well, then I tell her I'm going to take a shower and I'm just going to sleep this off.
Oh,
and when I started sleeping, I woke up like halfway through and I started like wandering the house and I started like blacking out. And then I threw up.
Which is usually a Friday morning after the bowling. So she's not quite that alarmed by that.
No. And then I went to the spare bathroom and puked in the sink when it was all straight blood.
And did she see that?
No, she didn't see it. And then I had more diarrhea, which was a lot of blood. And then I barely made it back to the bedroom and said, I think it's time to go to the hospital. And she said, well, we're going to go. We're calling the ambulance.
That was
you did ambulance?
No.
That was at 1:30 in the morning, by the way.
All right. So she loads you up, takes you to the hospital, which, by the way, I'm familiar with that hospital. It's a really nice hospital. It's brand new. It's like 18 months old.
It's big, too.
All the rooms are, it takes a while to get in the room, man, but they're nice.
Yeah.
Right, Lummy?
So it was really nice.
Now, Dan, is like Tampa General and all the hospitals around here, are they that nice or no?
Well, they're no, and they've been going through upgrades. Like Women's Hospital about 10 years ago redid their whole, OB mothering ward and mothering floor. The St. Joe's continues to make, capital improvements. But
they have to, don't they?
The newer hospitals are designed differently, and so the floor plan's different. The whole concept has been improved.
Right, it's like more of a, it's just less hospital-y and more
Correct.
Hotel-y.
Right. That's the goal, to make it less like a hospital and more like a resort.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for the elective stuff.
But for these older hospitals, Tampa General, St. Joe's, that have been, these Advent Healths are just popping up everywhere. And man, like if you had a choice to go to like an Advent Health where Lummy went, or like old ass St. Joe's or Tampa General, and it's not like, I cut my leg off and I got to get to the hospital as soon as I can. I think I go to the Advent Health place because I've seen those rooms and they're nice.
They're very nice, and it's less like that. It's less like that old hospital with the long halls and just a bunch of doors. And it's less like that. And
it's like you're at the Holiday Inn Express.
Right. Yeah. It's nicer. It is. It's a better experience.
It is. So, like, do people that it's maybe not an emergency, do they find themselves going? It probably has gotten out that that's a nicer hospital, right?
Oh, yeah, and people hospital shop. The smell of Tampa General is different than the smell of Advent. The smell of Advent's better.
What's the nearest hospital? Like, if somebody got sick here, where's the nearest hospital here?
We're almost equidistant between St. Joe's, Memorial, and Tampa General.
Which one would you take?
If I wasn't dying, Memorial.
Tampa Memorial?
Yeah, Old Memorial.
Where's that one?
Not Old Memorial, just Memorial Hospital. It's on the Swan. Swan and like McDill, near McDill.
But that is old as hell.
But it's fast. It's nice. It's easy to get in and out of.
Yeah, but the rooms are like literally from Leave It to Beaver era.
It is. The rooms are from Leave It to Beaver era.
They are. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Or like if you're not, if you got some issues, why wouldn't you just drive up to Wesley or wherever the nearest Advent Health is and stay at a resort, right?
No, I totally agree. Especially if I lived anywhere near North Tampa, I would go straight to the Advent.
Now, what about St. Joe's? What's it like?
St. Joe's is pretty nice. It's just that, it's not as great as it used to be, and it's gotten so much competition from some of these other hospitals like Advent.
Hospitals, big business, isn't it?
So when the economy's down, they're the only ones building. They're always building.
Somebody told me that Advent Health is a charity, and they roll it into it's like a non-profit.
Like they get tax breaks on stuff?
Yeah, it's like a non-profit kind of deal.
A lot of hospitals are like that.
But really, there's profit.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't keep that place
it's
open
like
if you
church.
don't have,
Yeah.
Advent Health is a faith-based nonprofit healthcare system headquartered in Altamont Springs, Florida.
Yeah, and they call it faith-based splits because they can get like a,
Are they Seventh-day Adventists?
Yeah. They're partnered with Catholic Health Initiative.
Not Seventh-day
Adventists? People not believe in medical intervention?
Yes. No, but hold on.
They have 83,000 employees.
They have figured it out. They throw religion kicker in there.
Yeah, so you get kickbacks.
And they get it's unbelievable. And you know what? There are no profits because they take the 10 zillion they make and build 14 new hospitals with it.
Exactly. They just reinvest it into themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
then one of these days, Dan, they'll then sell it to a hedge fund deal, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And God business.
Right.
It's profitable.
Exactly.
But Seventh-day Adventists are good owners. That they run Florida Hospital in Orlando, and they the hospital is immaculate. The people are healthy. Seventh-day Adventists live longer than most other religions.
I thought they were didn't believe in medical intervention.
It's not that they just don't like they don't believe in a lot of.
I can't wait for your bill.
Impurities into your body. They don't like caffeine. They don't like salt and pepper.
So much for us. Lummy, I can't
wait.
That's
why the sodium was so low the other day.
I can't wait to see your bill, Lummy, because probably those nice of accommodations come with a price.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
I mean,
nurses were nice.
Were they nice?
Oh, super nice. There's only one that was a real anti-vaxxer or person against me.
Oh, so Lummy, what happened with you because you're not vaccinated and you've not had COVID?
And he tested negative.
And
they did test him.
But Dan, I mean, that's probably a very rare subsect of people that go into the. I mean,
Bubba, I feel like a zombie movie, and the pool of people in the world now that have not been vaccinated and not been infected continues to shrink and shrink
super
and
low.
shrink.
And
literally, like Lummy and I, and Romina and Candle are
that's about the only people I know.
Ones I know left that haven't either gotten vaccinated or haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
And
what about your kids?
But my mom got the vaccine. My kids have not gotten vaccinated, and they haven't gotten it.
Okay.
But kids don't really count.
Oh.
This is not a disease of kids. This whole kid thing with trying to give
Hold on,
vaccines
in
to
yesterday's
10-year-olds.
prep or 2 days prep, I canceled it out today because I'm so busy. But Anna sent that Cuba now has mandatory shots for kids 12 years and older.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what we're trying to do. That this Cuba America,
it's like in LA County, they're doing
Dictator Biden. He's trying to force it on everybody. What he said on Friday, I don't want to get distracted. Maybe we can talk about this in the next section.
But
what that guy said on Friday was unconscionable. He actually was trying to direct national angst towards Lummy. Lummy, who's been responsible, hasn't caught it because he's protected himself, hasn't been stupid about it, and he gets shamed by the rest of the country. Come on, Biden. F you for that.
Didn't Biden say that don't worry, I will not impose?
Yeah,
He's
send you that video.
Lying
many
mofo.
times.
Lying. They lie. The Democrats lie. They tell the blacks
Dan.
what they want to hear. They tell the unions what they want to hear.
Dan, we all lie.
Everyone lies. Please,
not
please.
like that,
Dan, you and I lie every day a lot.
The way.
Hold on.
After taking care of them, they
Jesus, I was going to roll right into the Biden yippee-o deal, but they're throwing me this stupid ass, whatever.
assistant, and I'm studying to become a registered nurse.
Is that Miguel?
I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying, man, the humanity of our world is just really quickly changing.
Yeah.
We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do.
Needless to say, the right of women to make decisions about their own bodies is not negotiable.
No, definitely not. You don't want to mandate and try and force anyone to take a vaccine. We've never done that.
Our interest is very simple from the federal government, which is Americans' privacy and rights should be protected.
It is a matter of privacy to know who is.
Remember when I said yellow looks pretty good on women?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were right.
Who isn't.
We don't want to be mandating.
Well, I got to tell you, in the Nancy Pelosi world, she usually looks horrible. But the only thing even yellow is so good on girls that can even take the edge off of dumbass Nancy Pelosi.
I think what makes her look better is the mask. It needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
Should be a bag.
I want to start a petition to have that Nancy Pelosi has to have more of her face covered.
Yeah, a non-breathable mask.
I don't feel safe around you, Nancy. You COVID spreading bitch. Hold on.
We don't want to be mandating from the federal government to the general population.
But we
will. It would be
will.
unenforceable and not appropriate.
Perhaps
the federal government should step in.
By the way, a lot of people don't like her, but I like this little spark plug.
Packy?
I kind of like her.
Jen Packy?
I kind of like her.
Stand her.
I kind of like her.
She's so
and
dismissive.
Issue mandates, and if not, are you putting the needs of unvaccinated people?
Well, Dan, the job in itself calls for you to be a real dismissive son of a bitch.
You got to be.
That's all you're doing is dodging balls all day up there, making stuff up.
Sean Spicer almost killed himself.
Well, I think the question here, one, that's not the role of the federal government.
I think all they do is see how, when they're interviewing people, how quickly you can. Hey, listen, the technique here is you got to turn it around on them.
Yep.
And so the better you are at that and the quicker you're on your feet of turning it around on them, the faster you're going to get the job.
And they know what they're going to get asked, so they're prepared.
Right.
That's not the role of the federal government.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory. First, we must increase vaccinations among the unvaccinated with new vaccination requirements.
That was all of what they were saying before. Well, I was going to say before he was elected, that was Jen Packy.
The beginning of that speech, though, he is like, this is a disease of the unvaccinated. It's the unvaccinated's fault that the disease is spreading all through the country.
This is no longer a personal choice.
This is no longer a personal choice. It's
not about personal freedom.
I mean, he literally is telling the rest of the country to be mad at Lummy and me.
And how do you, I can see how a lot of people can be mad at you, Dan, but how do you get mad at that little Lummy?
You can't
get mad at Lummy.
How can you get mad at him? But the nurse tried to shame him, right? Didn't the nurse try to shame you?
One did, yeah. There's some, a lot of the other ones didn't.
So hold
make
on,
a big
Lummy.
deal.
So you go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And they check you in.
Oh,
now,
I rolled in, and I threw my insurance card in and thing. I said, I don't have COVID symptoms, but I need to see a doctor.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, that's how I was dying.
You threw your insurance card down.
Like Culpepper and Curlin?
I
Yes.
don't have COVID-type symptoms, and I need to see a doctor.
Well, 'cause I can't-
No
I
wonder
went-
they put you on a gurney for 17 hours. They thought you had a bad attitude.
Well, because I came in and I was pouring sweat and I couldn't breathe and I was wearing a mask and I said, I don't have COVID. I know I don't. Here's my
Can you
thing.
imagine if you're the intake nurse and you see this thing rolling in, be like, oh my God.
It got me back though.
She what?
It got me back there quick.
Yeah. And then they put you on a 4-foot gurney made for a child for 17 hours.
Yeah, joke's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lummy, you tell do you tell them I'm puking blood and like you know?
Yeah.
Now, when do you bring up the chip? Like
with the nerd when I first got in there, I mean it's kind of hazy now, but I'm starting to remember some of it. But I remember she said what happened, and I kind of explained it. And that's when she was trying to ask me what kind of chip. So she asked me like, "What's going on?" And I said, "Well, you know, we did something at work."
Did you say I work for the Bubba the Husband show?
No. I was wearing your Air Bubba shirt though.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, you should make. See, I mean,
you told
Lummy,
me not to say anything.
I know, but Lummy, you got to make yourself a little bit of a star. You'd be like, I'm an on-air co-host on the nationally syndicated Bubba the Love Sponge show, and we're doing this chip challenge. People like Shaq and others have done it. And it's just one particular chip about the size of a Dorito that's been drenched full of a bunch of hot stuff, and I ate it. And while eating it, I drank nearly a gallon of whole milk. I had 614 Tums. 2 bottles of Pepto-Bismol and a half a thing of Mylanta.
Never in his life has he sounded that coherent. There's no way.
And I definitely was not coherent that time either.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
Even when he's perfectly fine.
True. You could never tell that deficient of a story. And so let me, hi, I just want to let you know that I was doing a stunt. It's a chip thing.
Yeah.
And,
imagine Lummy with half his blood gone.
I started disagreeing with me, and then I started puking it up.
Milk.
I forgot to tell you, I drink a gallon of whole milk. Yeah.
Tums.
And
then Tampa Terry was like, bagged milk is better.
And so then I went bold today, and I was diarrheaed.
Well, I had a pre-bowl.
I bowled today, and then
I
went home. And then I decided to go to the ball game, and then I puked on the sidewalk, and then finally my wife took me home, and I went and got my car earlier today too.
She had to drop me off at my truck.
And
yeah, that.
So what does she do? So what does she do, Lummy?
She was trying.
Now,
to
Dan, is she
understand
like? Is this a doctor or is this like a nurse practitioner?
These are 2 nurses. These are like 2 RN nurses or whatever.
Okay.
And they were checking me in, and then they started when I was telling them about all the blood and everything, and then they were getting my blood pressure. My blood pressure, I think they said was like 88 over 50 something.
You're so lucky you didn't die.
Danny's 88 over 50.
He's dying.
And now, do you think they recognize that?
I would hope so.
Oh, I kept blacking out. They said I just kept going in and out of consciousness. Which I thought I was.
I can't believe you didn't
sleeping.
get. I can't believe you didn't get a transfusion.
Well, then they started trying to pinch my blood on my finger, and she said that every time she would, she kept pinching, and the blood would just stay there.
And then the call came back from the front desk.
Oh my God.
The patient Warren Garrison, Social Security 59 or 69 or 29 or 49 or 89er, date of birth 10-8 yippee-yo. He has full-blown Humana with a MetLife kicker. So just really pour the coals to this
Is
guy.
that when the sirens go off?
Yeah. Hello, head nurse billing. Yeah, Warren Garrison.
Head nurse billing.
That Warren Garrison guy, the big 6'6" guy back here.
Yes.
He's fully insured, to the
Oh.
max.
Okay, well, we'll do everything we
$12
can.
Tylenols. You just go ahead and lay the coals to it, okay, kid?
Okay.
All right, thanks. But also they get these calls. Yeah, see that the homeless guy get back there?
Yeah.
He didn't have a lick of insurance. His Social Security number is invalid.
Okay,
so
well, he's fine. We're going to discharge him right
put
now.
a Band-Aid on him and tell him to
he's
put
fine.
some ice on him.
Yeah, a cup of ice.
He's
seal it.
missing it.
We know his leg's cut off, but tell him.
He's missing an arm. We'll just give him some Neosporin.
Yeah, give him some Neosporin and a sling, okay? All right, yeah,
And
whatever.
a sling for his missing leg.
And a Ziploc for his missing limb.
Right. Get him on down the road. Warren Garrison, on the other hand, we're going to pull the coals to him.
We're going to give him a birthday party. And
everything. So, Lummy, you're in there. Now, what's the very first? They take your blood pressure. It's 88/55. Dan, do you think that they're on with a doctor saying,
That's unstable. That's an unstable patient. You come in with a pressure under 90, history of vomiting blood, lightheaded. He's in critical condition.
Right. So, Lummy, do they do they immediately start working on you?
It was I thought it was just because I had my insurance card at the time, but
I thought I had good insurance while you guys are picking up the pace here, but I'm dying.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 of them already on me.
Yeah,
Guys, can you hurry? I got to get to work. Bubba will be so mad if I don't show
listen,
up.
I think I could leave here by 5:15 and make it, okay?
Yeah, they were putting heart monitors, and then they started taking blood and.
So what's the very first thing they do? They take your blood pressure. It's 88/55. What do they do?
Next thing I know, there's 2 people over me and a doctor over me, and then they're starting to draw blood out of me.
And drop an IV right away, too,
Yeah,
right?
and one
Is that
was
the
dropping
first
an
thing you
IV,
do?
one was doing blood.
All right, so they drop an IV. Now, Dan, if a guy's 88/55, don't you think they should start doing whole blood transfusions?
No, that's not the answer. The answer is to pump him full of fluids to get the pressure up first, and then do the blood.
Okay, so get him
You got to resuscitate him first with fluids.
Just what, IV ringers?
Ringers probably, LR, lactated ringers.
Like a saline ringers kind of deal, right?
Saline's different, but ringers is saline plus some electrolytes.
All right, so
it's better for hydrate. He
might have got a ringers.
resuscitation.
He's got a ringers lactate.
Yeah, he got ringers lactate.
And
He probably got 2 bags of
And
it.
that will help him stop blacking out and
They'll
stuff.
get his pressure back up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
because he's lost so much volume.
What's the D5W they use?
They never use that crap, man.
That's
They never use
old.
D5W anymore.
What about WD-40?
Hold on, when I used to watch Emergency back in 81.
Everybody got it.
Yep.
So, Lummy, you get to the I want to finish out your story. You get to there's a lot of people riveted by it. I've gotten a couple texts. And so, Lummy, you get to the hospital. Your blood pressure's 88/55. You get the doctor coming in. They run the IVs. They start getting you, pumped back full of what, Dan? Electrolytes and fluids and stuff?
Yes.
Now, at this point, what are they running through his veins, Dan? Just saline?
Lactated ringers, probably. Ringers lactate.
And so, Lummy,
Or saline. Depends on the doctor.
Right.
Internal medicine guys like saline, surgery guys like ringers. I don't know why. It's just that way.
So, Lummy, are they telling you at this point what you're doing, like what they're doing to you?
If they are, I don't remember it. I was in and out. I thought I was just taking a nap or sleeping, but I guess they said I kept losing
Dan,
consciousness.
was he dying?
Yep.
No, for real.
I'm not joking. He was dying.
It was bad.
He was dying. He was hemorrhaging. He was dying. He was in shock. He was in hypovolemic shock.
When he's saying
hemorrhagic shock,
he was in and out of consciousness, kind of blackout. Was he kind of dying?
Yes.
Ooh.
Lummy.
100 years ago, he'd have died.
By the way,
100 years ago, he'd have died.
Lummy just lost half the color in his face right now.
He did. He really did.
I know he did.
Yeah, you could have died, Lummy. You were
Lummy.
probably 6 hours from it.
Lummy, if you
By the
died,
way, Lummy is actually freaking out right now.
Lummy, if you died, I'd be so mad at you.
Thanks,
No.
Lummy, you're gonna ruin the
Thought
show.
Tara was mad now. Sorry.
Yeah. Lummy, I'm just saying, you can't die, buddy.
No, I don't want to die.
Lummy, you can't die. You know how bad that would make me look?
Forget about your
Bubba Love Sponge kills co-host.
With Chip.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry.
So this isn't helping my home life at all.
But I'm here now.
I thought us being able to talk through it would be somewhat therapeutical. It's just
the story's worse than it was when I heard it the first time.
Blitz,
it just keeps getting worse.
Hey Blitz, can I need some help. Will you help me for something this weekend? If you're a true friend,
yeah,
will you help me move?
You need to borrow my trailer?
Yeah, no, I need to borrow your strong back too.
Okay.
I got beds and TVs and everything I need to get out of there.
Okay.
So, Lummy, you are in and out of consciousness because we've now determined by our doctor that you've lost so much blood that you're kind of dying.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, and I still obviously now know, but I just thought I was just tired and just wanting to sleep.
Yeah,
so.
most
people say is they're dying.
Yeah,
that's
what people die.
So tired,
cold and tired. Now, Dan, no, but are they?
It's just like a guy that got shot in that Western. I'm cold and tired. Bye-bye.
But Dan, as they're putting fluids in him, I mean, is it literally saving his life?
It's like a deflated football. You put in the fluids, it's like pumping up the football. All of a sudden, it comes back. It's amazing how 2 liters of fluid in your IV can really perk up somebody. I'm sure after they gave you a couple bags of fluid, you felt 1,000 times better.
Yeah, I felt better then.
All right, so they give you fluid.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
You
probably have to explain to them the process or the symptoms because Dan, I got to think that they probably weren't even worried about his symptoms. They were just trying to get him back, right? Before even evaluating what's wrong with him, they're trying to get him back to baseline life.
Well, they heard vomiting, they heard blood, and that was enough for them to trigger dehydrated.
And then they got an 88 over 55
right.
blood pressure, and they're like, "Wow, this guy weak." Right?
We need to resuscitate. Yes.
Yeah.
The rest of the story is irrelevant.
So. Lummy's looking at Dan like, really? Was that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad, dude.
Lummy, so they resuscitated you.
Oh, thank you.
Did you get your last rights? Did they give you your last rights?
Thank you, Bubba.
Probably.
And so,
signing.
So Lummy, at this point, you're probably starting to feel better. Is that when the nurse comes in and tell me what happened?
Yeah, well, first she asked, she's like, "Are you vaccinated?" I said, "No."
Oh, how did that go?
Well, first one, she was cool. The first two, she's like, "Are you vaccinated?" I had my mask on. She's like, "I'm like, no." She goes, "Okay, no problem." And then just started asking me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I was a chip and child." And she's like, "What do you mean? That's the flaming Cheeto thing?" And I'm like, "No, it was a really hot one." And I just started diarrhea and throwing up blood and everything and
so
sweating.
So did she say, "Can you give me the amount of blood you've thrown up, the volume?"
I tried to explain it to her like it was in the cup, the stadium cup, and then she asked how many times I went to the bathroom.
Well, you know those commemorative cups that you pay $22.50 for that you are able to bring back. I can't bring mine back because it had 3 cups of blood in it.
Yeah, so she kind of knew that, and then.
Did you show her the pictures of you puking on the sidewalk?
I tried to, but she didn't want to see them, and I was also having trouble unlocking my phone because I couldn't touch the buttons. I couldn't figure out what the numbers were.
Did you have trouble seeing the screen?
Yeah,
I'm sure your vision was
for
blurry.
real? Dying.
Yeah.
For real, Lummy?
I keep smiling when he says that.
Lummy, you couldn't type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like what your password is?
No,
I told you not to tell out the password.
It's a secret.
Yeah. I couldn't figure it out.
All right, so Lummy, what do they start right there? What happens next?
That's when they started pulling the blood, and then they started giving me a bunch of stuff. I think it was anti-diarrhea or something. They were trying to stop stuff, and then put fluids in, and then now at
this point, are you still, because you still have your tear? Obviously, your tear
still bleeding. Yeah.
Are you still, wanting to throw up and poop out blood?
Not throw up because they gave me, I think it was a
anti-throw up willy.
Yeah, I think they gave me something to settle my stomach.
Zofran.
I think so. But then
let me call it anti-throw up willy from this point.
Yeah, anti-throw up willy.
Mm-hmm.
So they let me sit there for a minute, and I said I had to go to the bathroom.
What kind of medicine were you on?
Anti-throw up willy.
Okay, there you go. Just
good job.
You haven't lost your edginess, my friend. That's why you're going to keep the strap. Go ahead.
So I rolled over to the toilet, and when I went to the last time I went to the bathroom, which is the picture I showed Dr. Dan, that's when I was done, and I was out. It was really bad.
What do you mean you were done? And you passed out?
I couldn't stand up. I got sweaty.
Did you have a poopy butt?
I didn't wipe too well.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got back in the bed, and then that's when I think they started.
Back in the 4-foot bed.
Back in the 4-foot bed, and I think that's when they started really increasing everything because I think they noticed how much blood just came out.
Now at this point, are they freaked out? Like, do they have put a big red C outside your door because you've not been, or a big NV non-vaccinated? Like, are they making a big deal about the fact that you've not had it and you?
None of them made a big deal to me about it. There was about 3 or 4 kept saying, "Hey, are you vaccinated?" And then one lady was talking to me about my medicine, and she goes, "Oh, I see you have ivermectin and yeah." And she goes, "You take those?" And I said, "Yeah." And then my other medication. She goes, "Okay." And that
now
was
is
it.
Ashley here for all this?
No, she wasn't. You can't be in the emergency room.
She just dropped you off.
Yeah,
but she's the smartest of all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
but then this one lady, before I had to get my the test to see if I was negative or not, she came in. She's like,
she was the COVID tester. She came in before the COVID test.
The COVID tester was like this 350-pound woman that she got in the nose. It was wow. But she came in. She's like, "You like to go out? Do you like to go out to drink? Do you like to go out to eat and eat spicy food? And do you like to enjoy your family?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You're not going to be able to if you don't get vaccinated because you're going to die." And I'm like,
she whispered that to you?
Are you embellishing
I
again?
Swear to God. I swear to God. No, I swear to God.
I could take that strap away for you for lying.
There's why is there a point of lying? That's what she said.
I've heard this, Bubba.
Calm down.
Dan, I mean, let me settle.
You're getting them all worked up, Bubba.
Let me settle.
Because I even text Dr. I'm like, you can't
gaslighting Lummy.
Lummy, settle down, buddy.
Don't raise your voice.
All right, so Dan, what now?
I have heard many stories in the last few weeks of nurses unconscionably shaming people for not being vaccinated
in a rude manner, like
in a rude, nasty
the way
manner.
Just said
I've had clients call me up because they go to hospitals and they have nurses literally harassing them and yelling at them and scolding them and belittling them because they're not vaccinated. And you know what my response is? Report them to the state because it's not a malpractice case, but you can't do that to a patient. You can't scold a patient for not being vaccinated and shame them and literally just scream at them. It's ridiculous.
A lot of nurses, too, didn't want it or don't want to get the vaccine.
Right. Yeah, it's unbelievable. They don't all agree.
So all the nurses didn't make a big deal except for this one. I think this one lady was someone else.
Lemmy, can you go ahead and give us what she said to you again one more time, please?
She's like, "Do you like to go out and drink with your friends?
Yeah.
Do you like to go out to eat like maybe spicy food with your friends?
Yeah.
She's like, "Do you like to spend time with your family?
Oh, I got a new baby coming."
Well, you're not going to be able to if you don't get the vaccine because you're going to die.
And she was 350 pounds. You're like,
no,
you're going to die.
This wasn't a 350-pound woman. The 350-pound lady didn't care.
Of course not. The one that she's dying.
She had
from
me
other
bend
stuff.
my head over the little 4-foot table and shoved that thing in my nose so hard. It hurt so bad.
Yeah. Sadistic.
That's who does it.
How old and how heavy and was the nurse that scolded you?
She probably was in her 40s. She was a Middle Eastern woman and probably 140 pounds.
Okay, so she wasn't heavy or anything.
All right, Lemmy. So you get scolded from the COVID, Johnny COVID cheerleader.
Yeah.
COVID police.
And
but then I come up negative, so then they rush me up to get into my surgery.
Yeah. So you were still, they didn't even put you in a room.
Nope.
No.
You're still like in limbo. You're like, emergency room hanger-on guy.
Yeah, because they can't find a room for me.
Now, Dan, do you think that they really do have available rooms, or you think that they're just screwing with Lummy at this point?
Even without COVID, there's always this weird delay between going from the ER to a room.
Well,
it's been like that forever. I don't understand it. There's rooms. They say there's no rooms, but there's rooms. There's common room. It's such a reindeer game with the availability.
It's like almost getting into a nightclub where they have to make you wait for a little bit.
Right, exactly. You got the bouncer. Yeah, I see you with your girl, but you got two guys.
He's checking the clipboard, see if you're on the list, right?
Well, there was one nurse.
But if you were Jane Castor, man, you'd be rushed right to a room, right, Danny?
Oh, of course.
Right.
Well,
I bet you they set aside, 2, 3, 4 rooms for
There's always room, brother. There's always room.
There's always a few rooms.
Always a room.
Not 17 hours worth of waiting.
No.
So, Lummy, they're like, okay, we got to go get this guy scoped, because they potentially now are diagnosing that you have a tear potentially in your esophagus.
It's actively bleeding.
Yeah.
Right. So they take you to the operating room.
Well, they take me up to like a prep room.
Now, this is like 11 or 12 hours after getting there, by the way.
So no, you get there like at 2 a.m. So what time are we talking? This is the next morning?
No, it's noon.
Yeah, it's about noon 1 o'clock.
And you haven't been to sleep yet, have you?
I mean, whatever I've been doing.
Passing out.
That's been called dying. But
Yes.
I mean, you've died about 10 times, but you're now conscious.
Correct.
And so they take you up and they take you to this prep room. What does that involve?
Then I got to get down naked and get on a little gown, put socks on, and that's
this is after you haven't been wiping very well either. You said.
Right. Now you have a stinky ass. You got a swamp ass.
I got a stinky ass and
It's on the air.
He's been sweating all day,
and
puking,
bowling, pooping, puking, walking 8 miles to 8 miles to the ball game.
So like the nurses start puking and crapping themselves.
I felt bad. The 4-foot bed had had a coal stains on it.
Oh my God!
I kept having to move to get comfortable. It was bad.
Oh my God!
You coal stained the bed?
Well, I had to. I mean, I could. They took my underwear off.
Oh, Lummy.
So listen to this. Lummy has at that point, how many times do you think you've gone poop? 15?
Since at that point, yeah.
No,
from 14, 15.
Okay, from the time that you ate the chip to the time that you coal stained the bed. I mean, you've probably been to the bathroom 14, 15 times.
Yeah.
And you just can't really, when you've gone to the bathroom that many times, there's just a lot of remnants down there.
And wait, when you were in the room with the baby bed, you had a personal bathroom there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was really hard to wipe because I had all this stuff on me.
And so you are
trying to wipe with IVs and electrodes and monitors.
So you got coal stains.
I kind of couldn't.
So at that point, man, you got definitely swamp ass, and you're going
the worst kind
to the point where you're coal staining up the bed.
Yeah.
And so
now, when was the last time you took a shower before this? Was it like the day before?
I took a shower before we went to bed because I thought it may make you feel good.
Okay.
Now, Dan, would it have been inappropriate? Could you have stopped the whole thing? And said, listen, guys, I'm just asking Dan as a patient. If you would have said to the nurses or into the people that are transporting you back and forth or whatever, hey guys, is there any way I can hop in the shower? Because I have had extreme diarrhea all day and I just don't feel very clean.
Yes, you absolutely could have.
You could have, right?
Yeah.
All right. But Lummy's like, I'm just going to sit here and take this swamp ass.
When you're dying,
you don't think of your swamp ass.
You're not worried about your swamp ass. No. You're worried about seeing the maker.
So Lummy, they wheel you up. You've coal stained the 4-foot bed a few times.
Yeah.
Now, Lummy, are they rolling you up in that same, baby bed?
Yeah, they left me on that bed, on that one.
They saw the stains and put you back on it.
By the way, you should see this bed. So Lummy sent a picture.
I know.
And it's the bed that he had been assigned when he got put to the emergency room, and he stayed in that bed for 17 hours, and it literally, Anna could maybe fit on that bed.
Yeah, his feet were hanging like 3 feet off.
Yeah, like. It's a 4-foot bed. I mean, it's made for a kid. And they got Lummy on there, and his feet are hanging off. And at one time when we had Lummy on the air, Lummy was like, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm most uncomfortable about my legs hanging over the bed.
Imagine your legs going numb.
My quads are on fire right now.
Yeah.
So, Lummy, they take you up to the scope deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they prep you. Now, do they have to make you drink some kind of barium or something like that?
No. They just pretty much got me in my little gown.
They didn't want you drinking at all, right?
No, I couldn't drink anything
because they were ready to rush him to surgery.
Yeah,
they don't want him drinking.
I didn't have any water since 1 a.m. at that point.
So
wow.
And so they get you in the gown and your slippers. Dan, at that point, they're going to ER, aren't they?
Going to the OR. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
They're thinking operating room. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Now, at this point, Dan, have they already had to does the hospital have a GI guy, or they have to call in like a specialist?
They got him.
Yeah, they had a couple of them. They were just waiting for him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They just kept telling me to be in high spirits. They said I was, and that I was really happy. And just
you're a great guy.
Positive.
You're a happy person. You're such a lovely human being.
Well, now I realize they were just telling me to be positive because I was passing out dying.
Right.
You even die happy.
That's part of the nurse's handbook. And when a guy's dying, just tell him, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's nursing 101.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Dan, for $100, who sings it?
Bobby.
Not fast enough, buddy. You owe me 100. Bobby McFerrin.
I'm sorry.
As soon as you came out with Bobby, I had to get it. I was like, man, he's getting close. He's gonna sound it out. It's only hit he ever had, I think. So Lummy, you go to get scoped.
Yeah.
Oh, you dropped your mouse.
No, both of them.
Oh, both of them.
But you sent me some, or let me some.
No, I didn't send
you
anything.
distracted. Somebody distracted me.
It was the Bobby McFerrin song.
I know, but I'd already passed on. God dang it! Now I gotta get all my mouses. Okay, I got one to fire at least. I'm a little out of it right now. I went and got Botox at Dan.
You got a black eye.
And I got a black. And Dan popped me in the eye. I got a little lippy with Dan, and he popped me in the eye, and took off my skin tap. But Dan, so as I get my Botox, like at 4, Dan's like, "You can't lay down for 5 hours," and I'm like, "Dan, I go to bed at 6:30." He's like, "Well, not tonight."
Wait, why not?
Because it rolls back into your skull and it can make your eye muscles weak.
Ooh.
You're not supposed to lie down for 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours after Botox.
Right. So I'm like 4 or 5. So I didn't go to bed till like 8:30, 9 o'clock last night.
You did. You were compliant.
No, absolutely.
God bless you, Bubba. Thank you.
I mean, I did what you told me to do.
Yeah.
I went to bed at 8,
That's
like
a first.
8:30.
Don't get vaccinated. Next day.
I did what you said.
Yeah.
So I'm a little
You
bit.
always follow my
I'm a
direction.
little bit groggy, and I'm a little bit out of it today because I'm about 2.5 hours off my regiment. But I'll get through. But I'm knocking mouses over and all that kind of deal. So, Lummy, we're way behind. I want to pick it. We got to pick up your Lummy almost. I mean, Lummy, I didn't know that you almost died. Dan, did you know that he was on that? Did you know that he almost died?
I didn't know about it until he was missing the following day. I didn't know anything about this until the next day. When
I didn't want to
wasn't
bother
here.
you at the Bucks game.
No, I
on
mean,
that
did
day.
you know the extent to which he was
When
close
I got
to
the
dying?
numbers, yeah.
You right over there, Sponge?
No, I'm not.
You got to get his.
But I mean,
I'm
after
so
I got
messed up
involved,
right now.
It's
after I
Bubba
got-
Biden.
after I got involved and got to speak to the nurse, I mean, he was up in the operating room within like an hour and a half. So it did help, I think, move things along a little bit.
So I mean, but
Dr.
did
Dan.
you know that how when you got your first report from how Lummy's doing? Did you know that it was this critical?
When I saw the picture of the bloody vomit on the sidewalk, that's when I knew that he could have died. And when I finally got the numbers of hematocrit and hemoglobin and all the other numbers, I confirmed my suspicion that he would have easily died if he had not gone to the hospital that night and just kind of rode it out.
Lummy, we're going to pick up your story, I guess, with the scope.
Yeah.
When we come back. All right,
Okay.
bud. All right. Hello, who's this?
COVID expert.
Hey, this is Gary. Hey, Bubba,
Hey,
I
Gary,
wanna
hold
buy
on.
a-
Gary, how you? Before we jump into it, Gary, let's at least have some pleasantries and say, hi, Gary, how are you today, bud?
I'm doing well, Bubba. How are you?
I'm doing good. So let's go ahead and get into it now, buddy. Hi.
Hey, you know what, Bubba? If I want to buy an airplane, I'm going to go to a car dealership. So if I get one, talk about COVID, I guess I go to a twat doctor.
Dump that. by the way.
Hey, Gary, you can't use that particular word on the air. You could say maybe boob doctor. Don't say that doctor, okay?
Okay, a boob and cooch doctor. I mean, that makes about as much sense instead of going to a virologist. And he keeps saying study after study after study. Yeah, but there are 10 billion studies in the opposite direction.
Actually,
So,
it's
yeah,
more
you
like
can-
10 to 1. It's 10 to 1 showing the positive effects of hydroxychloroquine versus the negative effects. It was 10 to 1 showing the positive effects of ivermectin versus the negative effects. And the problem with you, Gary, is that you don't know how to critically read a scientific paper. And if you had and gone back and read some of these articles, most of the articles that showed a negative or no difference were set up specifically to show no difference. And so the study's setup is more important than even the study itself. Secondly, if I was in a plane and the pilot, hold on a second, it's my turn, Gary. Keep your mouth shut. If I was on a plane and the pilot for some reason had a panic attack and couldn't fly, I would be very happy that a pilot that also may not have been a commercial pilot, but probably flew fighter jets or even flew a Cessna 414 could land that plane for me because the pilot was too much of a pussy to land it. So if these other doctors are too much of pussies to take care of people with COVID because they're so afraid of their freaking license or getting sued or some other thing like that, or they're too naive to read the literature or too stupid to understand it like you, Gary, then F them. And I'm going to continue to do my good and save the 142 people that I've saved. You don't save anyone. You're useless to society right now. All you want to do is sit in your basement and complain about everybody else. So have a wonderful day, Gary. You're a great guy. Go call in your neighbor for a violation of the homeowners association.
All the doctors all over the world who have been reading these other articles that you say I don't understand.
But you don't.
Okay, but that may be true, it may not be true, but there are billions of other doctors out there who do read it, who follow the instructions of those articles, have saved more people than 142. My God.
Yeah, I'd like you to give me the names of more than 5 people that have saved over 100 people's lives from COVID. Just give me 5 names. You can't.
Hey, I don't know every doctor in the world.
Just find
sure.
5. There's billions of them, dude. Billions and billions.
You did say,
find me 5.
Gary, you did say
find me 5.
Okay,
Gary, you're just a miserable asshole. You don't know what you're talking about. Talk about retired lawyers stuff.
It's a pie hole. It's my turn.
Okay.
There are
riveted.
billions of other doctors out there who know what's going on.
There's not even billions of doctors in the world, dude. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. And I don't want to call you names. I don't want to yell at you, Gary. You're just objectively incorrect. You're naive.
But you have
You're myopic. I know, but right now I'm not. Right now I'm trying to talk to you intelligently, and I'm not trying to just throw names at you. Yeah, I am. You're naive. And you're misinformed. And I'm sorry that you're so myopic that you can't see the big picture. You have no fund of knowledge to even address this, dude. Go have a party with the other retired lawyers.
Hey, as far as
in your basement with all your friends.
She said the other day that people are either pussies or afraid about the COVID. Well, I guess you're dicks and assholes about not doing the COVID masks and shots.
You're absolutely incorrect, because I have better protection than the vaccine. I have higher protection than the vaccine gives. I am better protected than those who are vaccinated. So you're patently wrong. You just don't understand it. It's hard to explain science to someone that doesn't understand science, because you base yours on media and propaganda. So you're a lollipop. Hey, just follow the sheep. Follow the other sheep, dude. Right to the slaughterhouse.
Great.
Enjoy it.
I taught science. I taught chemistry, physics, and biology after I was an attorney. So don't tell me I don't understand science.
Apparently you don't, because you're reading the same things I'm reading. Then you're moronic if you can't understand it. Sorry, dude. Sorry, I feel badly for you.
Asshole. You're an asshole.
All right, Gary.
You just said you didn't want to call names, and now you're just insulting him. That's not an argument.
Gary, no.
Well, he calls me moronic.
Okay.
Well, call him moronic. Let's keep the a-hole out of it, okay, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he jumps to name calling because he has nothing else.
Nothing else except for personal experience, objective data, and 30 years of training and experience as a physician. I'm not just a plastic surgeon. I'm a doctor, dude. I'm a doctor. I can treat. I don't have to be a virologist. You don't have to be a virologist to treat diabetes. You don't have to be
Dan, he taught physics.
But you taught physics, so you know what you're talking about, Gary.
Dan, he taught driver's ed, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the little wheel on the right side and the brake pedal. Good job, Gary.
Gary, I just want to let you know.
Can all
Gary,
suck my big
Gary, this is Bubba. We've been at each other's throats today, but I do want to tell you, I love you, buddy, and I look forward to your next phone call, buddy.
I love you too, but Dan will put his head out of his butt.
All right, Gary, I look forward to hearing back from you. Love you, bud.
Let's come back to like the 14-year-olds.
Is there a Kevin's Law tonight?
Yep.
Anna, you'll be here, of course. You're the co-host of Kevin's Law.
Or the host.
Stop.
Are you the host?
No, I'm not the People always say that.
Oh, no, it's Anna's Law featuring Kevin.
Anna, have you taken over poor Kevin's
show?
No,
not at all. I just run the board. I'm just the board runner.
I think if you put a poll up, it would be 99.9%.
Don't do this.
Yeah. She took it over.
Why, Anna? Why did you take it over? I mean, Kevin's usually not that laid down there.
Sometimes she's nice enough to let Kevin talk a little bit. At least tell the first half of his story.
Does Kevin not know how to say "shut up, bitch"?
He needs to learn.
I don't think Rocky is on the show anymore.
Who's Rock?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rock doesn't talk.
We run into some problems, Rock and I, sometimes. So
Rock, a fine African American gentleman who used to be the main co-host, is now like almost behind Blitz, almost fourth.
Yeah,
I'm taking a back seat to that now.
What do you mean?
Like I'm just instead of debating him when we get into stuff, I just let it roll. I just let it go.
Why, you feel it's been a little bit of a problem?
It's been contentious at times, I'd say.
And it gives you too much real estate on the show, you think?
Not
kind of give you a
just-
takeover factor.
It upsets him, and
Kevin
it's not
did
worth
take
it.
me aside one time and said, "You do get a little much."
He's going to be shitting in the show. Anna.
I mean, I just said, "How's Anna doing?" She's like, "Sometimes she's a little much."
Oh, me and Kevin have the conversations a lot.
Right. He doesn't have the heart to tell you.
I've been trying to lay low. I try not to interrupt as much as I do.
But
I just get
interrupt
excited.
so much. I did listen to, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and like he just start getting, and then you don't even like you just double Dutch right. You just take over. Like you literally in mid sentence just take over.
That's not true.
T-shirt will 1,000
Have you ever
bits.
listened back to the show?
No.
You might want to try that once.
Okay.
Listen.
I mean, I've listened to segments of it back, but
Well, I was going to say she blames it on caffeine, but I kind of did that for yesterday too.
Yeah. So I mean, Anna, and just remember, it's Kevin's show, not yours. You know. I think you're supposed to add flavor, insight, and make it better, not take.
Not be the entree.
Yeah, you're supposed to make
not be
it
the
better,
main course.
not take it over.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That'd be like when I got Botox at Dan's, and the little shorty from Lakeland would be like, "Here, Dan, we're gonna do this and this and this and this and this and this, and go get the stuff." And then Dan bitches out and gets the stuff.
Yeah.
Like almost reverse the roles. Dan, you when I was in the chair, like, okay, we're gonna do this, 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 this. I need a CC of this and this and this, and then we're gonna do this and this.
I know I'm getting better.
And then Dan, she went, little shorty went and got it all for you, and 5 minutes later, it's all there, right?
Yep.
Reverse the roles. What if little shorty would have said, "Hey Dan, we're gonna do a zip, 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 and a zip, zip," and you go down and get all the zip, zips, and then you went down there and got all the zip, zips.
Yeah.
like a little bitch.
Yeah, that's not how it plays out for me.
Kevin used to be in here, take over, be the man. Kevin Hazlett's show.
I mean, he used to actually be able to tell his stories is the main thing.
Oh my God.
They get cut off.
He can't even tell his stories anymore
Anna.
without her just
Sometimes I
ruining
guess
the punchline.
and I guess right, and he gets mad.
But sometimes you guess, and then it completely throws off where he was going with it.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I
he
stopped
should
guessing.
he should be the guy
Get excited.
that that has the payoff.
Yeah.
And all too often, you're that guy that is doing the payoff that's really not the payoff, that's based on an interruption.
Yeah.
I'd come unglued. I'd be like, "Shut up, bitch. I'm firing you."
Yeah, I think he misses Colton.
Well, Colton's is like, Colton, there's a happy medium between you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Colton's barely literate. Just kidding, I
Colton's
love
on
you,
the
Colton.
other side of the spectrum, okay?
I know.
He's in the,
Right. Not enough effort, and I'm too much.
Yeah, way too much.
Yeah, I'm backing it down. But I really have made an effort over the past few weeks.
You don't have the ability to back it down.
Yes, I do.
The only way you would have the ability to back it down is if literally you turned your mic off.
I've done that before. Turn my own mic off.
Yeah, but I control the buttons. I turn it right back on. So I can talk.
I did do that.
I'm just telling you, the reason why we're having this conversation is you don't think I just pulled this out of thin air, do you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
this is actually an intervention.
No, I know it's a problem. That's why I've been a lot better about it. I don't interrupt anyone anymore. I let Rock talk. I don't get combative.
Like Kevin's afraid he's going to lose Rock.
Because of me?
I'm just saying, listen.
That's honestly a legitimate concern because I don't think Rock likes me very much.
Anna, do you think I pulled this right out of my ass?
No.
Okay. You know that I met with Kevin. I've been meeting with Kevin once a month.
I know.
Okay. Well, first of all, there are some things that since the last 4 Kevin shows, I've met with him privately at his office.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, so you know that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not making that up or anything like that.
And on Tuesdays too, I think. Right?
And all too often, yes, there's been times that he's actually come to Kevin's Law after having just spent 2 hours with me. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
God bless his
so
heart.
for me to bring this up, and if you to quickly deduct, okay, Bubba has been spending time with Kevin on this one project.
Yeah.
And now Bubba's bringing this up. If you were to put all this puzzle together, how do you think it went?
Clearly there's some concerns.
Kevin brought it up to me about, these concerns and didn't necessarily ask me to talk to you, but he knows how I am.
Okay, that you will talk to me.
That'd be like me going, "Hey, Dan, you know that one girl that was in the room with me and, she was kind of rude. Just want to let you know." Dan, and be like, Dan, that's all I have to say. And then, Dan, you'd be having a talk with her, would you not?
Yep.
I wouldn't have to say, "Hey, Dan, do you need to will you please talk to her for? I wouldn't even have to say that. I just bring it up.
Yep.
Well, Rock used to come early and then like leave later and hang out. And now he like gets you right before the show. And as soon as the show's over, boy, he is gone.
Yeah.
Bolts.
So Kevin did.
He's out at 7:02.
Kevin did bring a few things up.
Yeah.
And he's also building his own place over there.
I'm aware.
And to the point where he's like, I don't know if I should really say any more at this point. I think
Are you trying to tell me that he's considering not having me continue once we make the transfer over there?
Well, have you been part of the process of learning how to use equipment like me and Rock have?
I've not said that, but you are very. Hold on.
I'm just asking a question.
Anna, can you ask that question one more time?
Me?
No, Blitz, you already interrupted. What I'm saying, Anna, is you asked me, has there been discussion about not including you when they make the transition?
Yeah.
And my answer to you is, I don't want to answer that question.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we went over that. I feel a lot better.
My other question to you is, it's quite an elaborate setup, the back end of it. And
I've seen pictures.
Hold on, you've what?
I've seen pictures of it.
And you don't even live that far. Have you even gone over and acclimated yourself to the equipment? Are you just going to be?
I've been to the studio.
Are you just going to sit there as the host and sit there
of Anna's Law?
Yeah, I'm just saying, Anna. I'm talking to you as a sister girl.
Yeah.
You need to back it down,
like
as a friend, because it's Rock's almost gone because of you. And Kevin doesn't know what to do because he's so nice. Like if Dan was having a problem with you, he'd just rip you completely ass. Like he'd be like, "Listen, you horse bitch. I hate you. Get out of here."
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
But Kevin's far more sensitive to a woman's potential feelings than Dan.
Yeah.
Dan be like, "You're interrupting too much, bitch. You're out of here. See you later."
Yeah, I know.
Kevin, on the other hand, comes to me now. Blitz have. The answer is just simply yes or no. I don't want to elaborate. Have you and Kevin had similar discussions?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say absolutely, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anna, I'm just saying,
I'm backing it down.
It's gotten away from you, but
it has. I get so excited during Kevin's Law because he gives me positive reinforcement. And I don't get that.
But she backed it down so much that she did the same thing last week.
I tried not to.
Anna, you're almost out.
I think you tried.
And what's going to happen? And I'm asking you as a friend, but what's going to happen when, inevitably you're not part of that anymore? That's like
driving to the Skyway.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting that, but it would really hurt. I mean, you'd be bummed.
Yeah, I'd be super bummed.
Because I think
about the $1 toll.
I really think that I really think that you at times enjoy that more than this.
No, it's different.
No,
it's
real.
different. I laugh a lot more here, but there I feel
more engaged because you've taken it over. I won't allow you to take my show over. So I quell you down. I need you when you know your role. You know your role with me.
Yeah, right.
You will not try to take over my show.
No.
But Kevin, God bless his little nice soul. He just has kind of thrown his hands up in the air and you've taken over.
Yeah.
He's lost his way.
Sometimes we go a little off the rails. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it turns into off the rails show. It starts out Kevin's Law, but it ends off the rails. So anyway, I just wanted you to know.
Thank you for the heads up.
I wanted you to be. I don't know if this is the right word or not. I wanted you to be cognizant of that.
Yes, the correct word.
Thank you, Danny. So let me.
But she'll blow it off. She'll forget, and she'll just go on her own little world because she's in her own little world, and so
By about 4:45.
Kevin, I know the punchline. Let me tell you.
So I just want to let you know, crypto's down there. Yeah, Miss Jimmy, and my new wife and I know what you're gonna say next, Kevin.
North Korea.
It's true.
AOC's dress. What would you do? Now, what would you do?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not foreshadowing or anything like that. But what would you do? Like if we did let you go?
Wait, from everything or just Kevin's Law?
No, everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Kevin's Law. Like she just had an extra 3 hours to eat, but
no.
Everything.
Like I just said, hey Anna, I've been talking to this other girl,
which is true.
2.
Yeah,
I'm talking to 2 other radio girls.
Oh, God.
And one kind of got my interest, but
is she super hot?
She is hot.
Oh, damn it.
And hey, Blitz, I need to show you a picture of her. She is hot
Single?
and single.
Big bloobs.
No, athletic bloobs.
Perfect.
I got athletic bloobs.
Right, and but she's got a different shtick on the air. Like, she likes to date dudes, and like
She likes to-
Fun? Like she's fun?
Yeah,
Is she Rubik's though?
No, I don't think she Rubik's. I think actually the picture that she posted on her Facebook last week was her and two of her girlfriends at the Bucks game. So, like, Lummy, that's a pretty cool girl.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, she's she's at the Bucks game Thursday with
Probably
two
tailgating,
with
too.
two of her girlfriends.
Yeah.
And Anna, what were you doing Thursday night? Just like hanging out, milking
I
a
think I
cat?
was watching the
no.
9/11 documentary.
At Rubik's Cuban.
Cuban?
Cuban and watching the documentary.
Now, Anna, I'm not in the mindset to get rid of you. Like, I've even told you that.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're already preparing my replacement.
And plus, you have the Terra insulation factor.
Oh, yes.
Like, I'm just telling you.
I love that bitch more than you know.
Yeah, well, like if I went to her and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about hiring this new girl," and I'm gonna have to,
She'll cut off your funds.
I already know how that competition goes.
Worse than that, she's got so much heat with me. She loves. You know what, bitch? You have strategically, aligned yourself with the right people around here. I will give you that, Blitz. She's smart with regards to that. She figured out.
She is.
She got what she kind of aligned herself with you.
Yep.
But I just will tell you this, Anna.
If it wasn't for that, you'd be gone a long time.
But hold on, Anna. I just will tell you this.
Yeah.
Thank God you backfilled blitzes with Tara, because otherwise you GONE, bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you figured it out. You became friends with Blitz, and then you and Blitz have kind of like gone sideways a little bit. But if there was one person that could, I wouldn't say trump Blitz, but at least even him out tremendously, is Tara. Not a lot of people could save you from the wrath of Blitz, but Tara can.
Ask me if me and Tara have had those conversations.
Huh?
Oh, have you and Tara had those conversations?
Is there a secret alliance?
Yes, we have.
Tara does more of my management behind my back. I don't know of anything what any of this managerial stuff that's going on. So anyway, Anna, I think you're great, and but there's the radio industry. I've never been approached by so many women that are looking for radio jobs ever. And I do think if the one thing you have done is established that a girl is good for the show.
Yes.
I do think that you've established
Thank
that.
you.
Now, that that doesn't mean that
So
you're
I'm not just what do you call it? You're not just
Bump on
playing
a log
the
that just
gender
eats and does
card.
nothing? No.
Yeah, the diversity card.
No. I think I think you've shown that a woman is good for the program.
Thank you.
Now, whether
That
you're
means
the
a
right
lot.
woman or not, I mean,
Okay.
you might be
Right.
You could have stopped there.
You might have been the
Did you not- that's
sacrificial.
where he was going,
You might have been the
obviously.
sacrificial lamb,
Right.
Yeah.
But the person first to the game always gets a little bit of credit.
Not
Okay,
much.
I'll take it.
So, but Anna, what I'm saying is when
She was
you're
kinda
good-
second to the
you're-
game, though.
You're good on the show.
Thanks.
Tara loves you,
Love
but you're really effing up. Kevin, the Kevin aspect is a major part of what you do here.
Yeah, I know.
And,
And he's important. You can't upset him.
no.
No, that's certainly not the
Kevin's family.
intention.
Kevin, let me tell you something.
His family.
Kevin, the Diacos are the original OGs on the air. And God bless his soul, Dr. Mark. That was the original
die?
three.
Yep.
No, but
No, he's not around anymore.
No, he's in Lakeland actually.
Yeah, Lakeland, Orlando.
He runs Dan. He runs the whole entire urology.
I miss Dr. Mark, man.
Hold on, wait till you hear Dan. He actually got a pretty good job. He runs the entire. He is the head of urology for Watson Clinic.
Right. No, I understand. It's just not like close by around. That's
No,
what
no,
I meant
no.
by
He's
that.
in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but the original three that started back in 99, 2000 was Kevin, Dr. Mark, and Dr. Dan.
It was really Dan and Mark, and then Kevin came on after the trial.
Right. So,
After the hog.
but those are my three. Those are the Mount Rushmore of ancillary guests. We're the first show that started having a full-time doctor lawyer segment.
Mm-hmm.
That then has been over radio. Radio has now brokered that. I can remember when Jay O'Connell, the general manager of Cox, came to me and said, "Listen, you have the Diacos and Kevin in as a lawyer segment, but we're thinking about selling it on the Cowhead show to this Dominic Ferriella guy, charging him like $5,000 a month to come in.
Do you guys know him?
Jay's here.
And would you have a problem with that? And I actually did have a problem with that. I'm like, I don't want another radio show stealing my lawyer-doctor concept. And they didn't care because there was so much, the guy was paying so much money for it.
Yeah.
So I'm the original, Kevin's one of the original OGs. It's the three Diacos, Dr. Mark, and Kevin as the original, ancillary once-a-month guest deal.
So what do you think I should do besides just back it down? Should I talk to him?
Back it the down.
Should I talk to him about it?
As
and be like,
Jay would say, back it the mother effing down, but he would have said the F word.
I know. And I'd be like, what did I say?
Like yesterday.
When his fire suppression system ruined his entire $400,000 race car, he did say the F word. Quite loosely, bitch.
I'm still sorry for that.
But Anna,
hey, man, Alcantara's hard to clean.
Yeah.
But Anna, just back it down.
Do you think I should talk to him about it and maybe apologize?
No, that's going to make it awkward for Kevin. He won't even agree that there's a problem.
Just be better.
I'm trying.
Be best.
Okay.
Just
Done.
quit trying to take it over so much.
I wasn't trying.
No, you wasn't.
Kevin's
you
law.
did.
It's not Anna's law.
You wasn't. You did. You did. That'd be like if 100 pounds ago, Dan said, "Hey, Bubba, stop. Gaining weight," and I go, "I stopped." But I went from 220 to 320. So I really didn't stop now, did I?
No, you didn't. You kept going. You kept going until you made it worse.
At 240, if Dan would have said, hit the bricks, brother, hit the skid marks, hit the brakes. And now I'm running, 319, 320. And I would have said, but Dan, I did. He go, well, then goddamn you did. You're fat as F. Trying to suck stuff out of your chin yesterday, buddy. Gave you a black eye chaser for talking back.
Oh, did you get the true sculpt on the gob thing?
No, I'm going to. Dan's got me on a program.
Nice.
Dan's got me.
We got them all teed up.
Dan's like, listen, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna remove that meat diving board off your thing, and then you'll be back. And when my Nashville girl Carrie comes back, she's gonna do some fat sucking and a whole 9 yards. I love her, Dan. She's cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Is it Carrie?
She's really good. Yeah, Carrie.
And Anna, you know what? That's another thing that's saving you, though. The Tara, Carrie, Anna
podcast
deal is doing well.
Way to reinvent yourself.
So you got a couple good. Anna, you got your Tara, Carrie, Anna podcast, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Like if we were to be a little kid and we're going to put a plus hopper and a negative hopper, okay? In the plus,
I get a gold star for that.
And you got a gold star from for the Tara, Carrie, Anna podcast.
Okay.
You got a gold star for the show.
Okay.
But you have a sad
just for who I am as a person.
You got a sad face for Kevin's Law, and what other sad faces we got in there? Well, she's
my
still
personality.
Well, we can't put. You still are +1. You're a +1.
Yeah,
okay.
you're a +1.
I'm a net positive.
One, just one.
Hey, that's better than 0 or negative.
Is there a score for her eating on air?
Everybody
you know what?
eats on air.
But hold on.
And I follow the rules.
Hold on, Dan.
Like chewing with your mouth open and having cream on the side of your face?
Shut up, Dan. Dan, quit being Gary.
Okay.
It's like having a bunch of kids around here. Dan, it would have been a sad face had she continued it, but she did stop. I asked her a week ago, no eating.
He said I could do it during hot mic.
And she's not eating.
Oh, okay, so during hot mic's okay, 100%?
Yes,
absolutely.
I didn't know the distinction in the rules.
And also, if he plays a song at the beginning, I can eat during the song.
Yeah. Yeah, again, yes.
Like a parody song.
Yeah, like if I play a little parody song and she wanted to do a last-minute shovel in, which I don't understand why she has to shovel it in so much, but that being said,
I'm hungry.
I mean, she's the most shoveling it in bitch that I know for being, I mean.
I'm hungry. I've been intermittent.
She eats like a 300-pound woman. She eats like a 300-pound woman.
I know. She's like,
that's all true.
Yes, it is. You eat so much food.
She eats with like a wooden spoon. It's so big.
You eat so much.
Well, I have to work on these muscles. Got to keep the gains.
Your jaw muscles are just fine.
So anyway, Anna, just be,
conscious of.
Cognizant.
Okay, cognizant.
That I'm talking to. I got two under the belt right now.
Need to go.
That are trying to talk to me.
No.
And the one's local. So I wouldn't.
How local? Like where does she live?
Don't say.
Give her the
I'm
address,
not going to say, but I'll say in Florida.
Oh, good. Well, I have a car, so I can get to Florida.
She's in Florida.
I know where she's at.
Does she have a car with tires? Not anymore.
But she went to the Bucks game with 2 girlfriends on Thursday. That's pretty,
nice.
That's pretty hot. She wasn't Rubik's cubing Willie.
Man, she's close enough to get to a Bucks game. She's close enough to get to the studio.
Oh. So, Lummy, you're at the hospital.
Yeah.
It's only taken us an entire show to get through.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And
went down.
They decide to take you up to the operating room. They make you get nude. Your little wiener's hanging out. You put.
It wasn't hanging out. It was in.
He was staying in the bed. By the way, during the 2 breaks ago that I went in there, I was talking with Lummy. And he revealed that a couple times he went to the bathroom, he didn't even bother to wipe.
I couldn't.
At all?
Well, I tried, but I couldn't because I had too much stuff on my hands.
But do you tell them?
I told him after the fact.
When they said, "Why do you have poop all over you?"
No, when I got to the bed.
He was pulling a Madeira Beach.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, did they ask you, or you prefaced that and said
it's just besides the point, Anna.
I just want to know who noticed first.
But I mean, Lummy, why couldn't you have said to them, "Hey, listen, I have had to go into the bathroom, and I got all these IVs and stuff in my hand, and I don't think I've been able to properly clean myself. Is there any way I can jump in the shower
or just hose me down?"
Well, I told them about that I couldn't wait, and they said just don't worry about it. Like they were like, that's the last thing you need to worry about. But I couldn't get in the shower because I had to have the stuff hooked up to my chest.
Stuff hooked up to your chest? What do you mean?
The IVs, the monitors and stuff.
Monitors in case it crashed at my heart and everything.
All right, so you go
because he was that close to dying. They wanted him hooked up just in case
he was dying.
Yeah,
literally, he was dying.
Remember when I called in that beeping that I thought was just annoying me? Well, I guess it was meant for something.
That was him dying.
That was Dan's Chris Sims moment with Lummy.
That was your dying alert, Dan?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, Lummy.
That was his death monitor.
So you go to that. You go in. They prep you for the scope.
Yep.
I'm assuming they wheel you into an operating room.
Yeah, they wheeled me in. They put me on my side and I had my ass up.
With all types of. It looks like you just sat in a puddle of Denny Moore beef stew, probably.
Well, yeah, it was more blackish, but yeah,
tar baby.
Yeah, tar.
So, at that point, do they tell you what they're going to do? Like, listen, we're going to take a scope, and had they done X-rays and upper GI scans and all that, and knew that you were torn, or were they going in the scope as an exploratory deal to find the tear?
They did a scan earlier with that radioactive stuff, and I guess they saw something, but they didn't know where, so they had to go in with the scope, and then they didn't know how many there were, how big it was.
But now, so once they go in for the scope, you're out, right? You're out.
Yeah, they put the little ball gag in me, and then put the gas on me, and they were like, "Goodbye."
And you're out.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I said it to him. I was like, "Yeah, see you later."
And so when you come out of surgery, do they tell you, okay, we scoped you and you had a 2 centimeter, however big tear, and we cauterized it? Or, do you even ask what's going on, or do you just sit there and take it?
When I woke up, I asked if I could have ice chips or something. I was like really thirsty, and they gave it. And while they were, I was eating ice chips, I asked them if they had pictures or videos or anything.
For content?
Yeah, and actually yes. And the guy's like, I'll check if they do, but it was a slight tear here and there, and you have a lot of blood sitting in there, so you probably still have poop blood for the next 6 to 7 hours.
All right. So as you're recovering, you're in the recovery room. Are you still on the 4-foot table?
Yeah.
All right. And so they take you from the operating slab, put you back on the 4-footer.
Yeah.
And now you're just in the recovery room?
I'm just hanging out, pretty much passed out. Just dying.
Now, are they telling you, sir, we're trying to free up a room for you?
Yeah, they kept saying that.
Right.
They said that it was because they were short-staffed.
Right. And so what time did you get scoped approximately?
About 1:30.
So this is, 12, 13 hours since you walked into the emergency room.
Yeah.
1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
What time did you finally get in a room?
About 6:37.
Oh, because they took him out of the OR back into the little bed and all that. He still didn't have a room even after that.
Why? Yeah. They were short-staffed, and they didn't have enough rooms.
Plus, he smelled like ass.
Yes.
That's it.
He had poopy pants.
Yeah.
So they wheel you back down to ER.
Yeah.
All right. And now, are you allowed to have any gas or anything?
Nothing.
And is your phone dying at this point too?
They turned it off and then they turned it on. I was able just to update Ash at the point saying that I was awake, and that was it.
Did she know anything during this whole time or just drop you off? When's the first time she found out anything?
I was texting her occasionally when I was in consciousness.
All right.
That's crazy.
In between dying, he would get a hold of his lovely wife.
Because they let me roll my phone around to the OR and stuff.
All right. So you're back down in the OR.
Yeah.
Now, do they finally come to you and go, "We got you a room, buddy"?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, hey, great news! We finally got you a place." And
by the way, Ashley was talking to the. It's like she would call the hospital and get updates.
Okay.
So. Just because Lummy,
because Lummy has no idea what he's doing doesn't mean his wife doesn't.
No, she was giving me updates as after she called the hospital, they let her know what's going on. She would tell me.
That's one of the weird things right now, COVID, where you can't be with your loved one. I mean, it's a much nicer experience to have your wife there holding your hand, saying everything's going to be okay. Let me wipe your butt for you,
and sneaking you in some McDonald's.
Exactly. The whole that's horrible to be in that position alone. It's scary.
Of course.
So, yeah, I mean, Lummy, you've been by yourself now, what, 16, 17 hours?
Yeah, it's about 17 hours.
Jeez.
I'd be out of my skin.
Yeah,
I need somebody there to talk to.
Me too.
Now, at what point did you realize I'm not going home today, and maybe not for a few days?
I think
this whole time you still thought they're going to look at me and then let me go home, right?
After I got out of surgery, and then they started explaining to me how bad I was and how because when they took my blood pressure, I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty good blood pressure." Like, yeah, you should have seen it earlier. And then they told me what it was, and
that you died.
Pretty much.
Well, it was like super low when you got there.
Yeah.
And then like after surgery, it was high to the point where they're giving him blood pressure medication.
Yeah.
All right. So you get in your room about 5:36.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I got me a regular bed.
Yeah.
I mean, I got me a big screen TV. I mean, you got your pretty nice TV up in there.
Yep.
What type of what type of channels?
Everything. Movie channels. Probably like 120 channels.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So anything.
Oh, yeah.
And so now at that point, what happens? Like, are we able to go to sleep? Do they give you some medicine to go to sleep? What? They hook you up to this machine.
Yeah, Ashley came in real quick. I was pretty tired, and then they were hooking me up to everything.
Did she give you kisses?
Yeah, and then she left around 9, and I still hadn't eaten or drank anything, so I was pretty parched. But then they gave me this.
You're what?
Parched? I was parched.
He's parched.
Parched. Just go with that.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Thank you.
He's parched.
I'm parched. And then
he's parched.
Yeah, I'm parched.
And you at that point, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and then the lady's like, "Well, we're gonna give you something to make you feel good at night."
This is what, like Saturday night?
Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
So boy, just when we thought we had a bad Friday night, here's Lummy at Advent Willie.
Mm-hmm. Not going home anytime soon. Little did he know.
Little did you know. So, Lummy, did they tell you at that point, hey, if your levels, because I remember talking to you Friday, and you were like, if my levels are good, I'm going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were just telling me that.
Right, to shut you up.
Pretty much.
So, did you get a good night's sleep on Friday?
Yeah, for what I remember. I mean, they gave me some stuff, and they gave me like a little pee bucket, and I mean, I was having a good old time when I woke up Saturday morning, so...
What do you mean?
They've been giving him Valium.
I was knocked out. I peed myself a bunch of times, I guess.
Oh my
so
God.
it's balls in the butthole and pee in the front.
He says I peed myself, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're covered in urine?
Yeah, urine and poop. I texted Ashley in the morning. I said, "Can you please bring me some clean underwear?" And then the nurse came in and gave me a towel, and she goes, "You can clean up." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah. So, she didn't even want to clean you.
Do I have to?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So Saturday morning you wake up.
Yep.
And is this the first shower that you've taken? Or did you never take a shower?
Well, I know I wheeled myself over to like the sink with the towel and this soap, and I scrubbed between my cheeks and stuff.
What's this stuff? It smells really good.
So it made it smell good.
So that Saturday
day, and then I kind of was in and out watching college football, and then they kept.
Well, I know that I
texted
texted you at 7 because I was coming home from Ocala.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Do you want me to come see you?" And you begged off me. You're like, "No."
At that time, you were only allowed to have one guest a day, and it was Ashley already.
So you're only allowed one guest per day.
Yeah.
So, like, if Ashley came at 9 in the morning, I couldn't come at 7 at night?
No.
Nope. And that's what he's worried about, is that you would stop by for like 10 minutes and then leave, and then Ashley wouldn't be able to be there all day long.
Well, I was never going to do that until I text first. So I was driving home from Ocala, and I was like, "Hey, Lummy, do you want any visitors?" And he's like, "I can't. I've already had my one for the day."
Yeah, if it was like one at a time, that's different. But it was one a day.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
It's during COVID time, but...
I understand. So at that point, Lummy, it's Saturday night. You spend the night Saturday.
Yep.
Now, and are they looking at, what are they looking at? And they say that your sodium's too low. So I get a text from Dan, and Dan's like, they're screwing with him. His GI doctor's being lazy, and they're just keeping him as long as they can to nick his insurance.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was every 4 hours they'd wake me up to take blood and my thing. So it was every 4 hours, no matter what time it was, they were taking samples from me.
Right.
So I never got a good night's sleep, and then they were checking sodium, and then they were checking my platelet levels.
Meanwhile, half of the world runs around with a little bit of low sodium. Like that's, please.
Which now we found out that it might have been an error, and I didn't have to stay the extra day. So
they'll do same-day surgery for gallbladders and appendicitis, and you had an esophagus procedure, and they didn't let you go within 24 hours.
They realized he had
for like 3 days.
Jay,
that's unbelievable.
Jay,
I mean, 3 days to get out of that.
He had like the best humanic health care known to man.
Jay, he went in. He went in Friday morning at 1:30 in the morning and got out yesterday afternoon.
That's when they got him cleared through the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jay,
if there's anybody, we got you a room, buddy.
Jay, if anybody knows how the insurance company works, you've been on both ends of the spectrums. You've worked for them,
absolutely,
and you've worked against them. And you know that when Advent Willie calls Humana and they're like, yeah, he's got a full blown Yippee-O policy with a Yippee-O chaser and a Yippee-O back. They're like, man, we're going to keep this guy in as long as we can.
And I've represented people who didn't have insurance that were discharged from an emergency room after they give them some medicine and then they stroke out.
Right.
And so because he had health insurance, he wasn't allowed to die. A lot of people, and this is just the way of the world. If you didn't have insurance, they would have maybe given you those bags of fluids, gotten your vital signs up, and said, "Okay, have a nice evening."
No, listen. The nurse and doctor all told me. They said, "Look, we want to make sure you're good here. We don't want to see you back again."
Yeah, that's what they say, Lummy. They all got their.
You don't think this count against them for insurance, Bubba?
Yeah,
that's exactly right. They spoke the truth.
Yeah, well, I mean, those doctors and nurses, they're just little salespeople. They're trying to make the business do as good as it can.
Yeah.
They want Johnny Humana, full-blown Yippee-O, or they want homeless Jones who can't pay the bill.
Yeah.
Right?
That one, Humana.
They weren't sure based on your appearance when you first came. Which one was it?
Right.
You threw that card down.
But once they ran him, he said he's full boat Willie.
Let him in the front door.
If he's off one hemoglobin or one sodium point, that bitch is staying another day. $20,000 a day.
I wasn't doing what happened with my
$13,000 lunches.
That bill is going to be obnoxious.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think that? I mean, this is right in your power hourly. What do you think that bill is, Jay?
I would bet it's close to $100,000 easy. And I bet insurance pays about 20 of it.
Anna has already told me that I looked rough and I'm sorry. I always look rough. Let's just be honest. But that I sounded very rough today.
Well, I heard you before I saw you, and you sounded rough.
I'm rough.
Mm-hmm. You look rough too.
And I got if I was to Blitz, can you do? I don't usually like ISOs on me because I'm not an ISO kind of guy.
Hierarchy 65, 1,000 bits.
What's up, my little hierarchy? I have my right eye is completely. It looks like Anna hit.
And if you shut your eye, it looks even. Oh yeah, it looks way worse.
Oh yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
T-shirt Will with 1,000 bits.
Trying to open up one so I can see the other. I think I'm opening up the wrong one, aren't I?
Well,
hold on.
Beauty is pain, Bubba.
Hold on, there you go.
You look high as hell right there.
And I'm not even high. I wish I was.
Anna was trying to act all hard too.
Yeah, and it's like, can we go on the air and say that I punched you? I'm like,
why am I talking like Hogan?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I punch you? Can I sleep with your wife and punch your brother?
Murray's Tiny Amic 1,000 bits.
One thing would have been worse is if Hogan would have punched me in the mouth on the way out of the door. Right? That would be the only way that whole situation kind of got worse is if, and after he slept with Bubba's wife, he punched him in the face.
He walked right into your office and punched you.
Damn, what did I do? I don't know, brother. I gotta go. In 10 years, I'm gonna make $55 million on this tape, and you're gonna lose everything.
Thought you were in on it.
Yeah.
I thought you guys split it 50-50.
Oh, my God. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're like, why doesn't he talk to you? Or be nice to you or something. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, because people think that I'm like, I was in on the deal. And I go, where in the hell would I sign up for that deal? Hey, Bubba, let Hogan have sex with your wife, videotape it, have somebody steal the tape, they get promoted and get your job. Hogan gets $55 million, and you live in a trailer and lose everything.
Now, was that...
Now, how in the hell would you sign up?
Yeah.
I've made some stupid deals in my life and done some stupid things. But my Lord, who would sign up for that?
Now, did you talk to that person while you were out yesterday doing your errands, or later? I say, because when you were out, what kind of car were you driving?
I was driving my Crown Vic, buddy.
Because that's what a multi-million-dollar person drives around town.
Yesterday, I had to go.
Put in the moped.
Yesterday, I had to go see my boy John at Precision Laser
right
over by the Clearwater Air Park.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? I haven't driven my Crown Vic in the long. As a matter of fact, Blitz, I'm driving it to Ocala today, but I need to check the air pressure in the tires.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, you know, why drive my truck? And I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Right.
Just trying to get from A to B. And two things, Blitz. One, the radio works. And two, it's got ice cold air.
Neither of which my car does.
Now, what else do you, Blitz, other than just getting point A to point B, what else do you need? Ice cold air and the radio works.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing else that you really need. I'm not trying to go pick up some hot, you know, chick on a date. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to go see John from Precision Laser, Blitz, to have him make some BRP trophies.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what I pull up in. Although he did make a comment. It's like, oh, driving the Crown Vic today.
And then he snickered.
And you should see, I was driving down the Corny Campbell, and the paint's actually chipping off the hood.
Flying off in sheets.
Yeah. When Blitz was driving it around for a little bit, when he had to borrow my car for something, he actually took white spray paint and tried to paint over the chips to stop the chipping.
Yeah.
You know, not that we were trying to give it like a Mako $99 paint job, but he was trying to stop the chipping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that paint's long gone, Blitz. We're chipped now, buddy.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
We're almost down to bare metal on some of it.
Well, you've always been kind of like that, because I remember back in the day, you had like an F-350, a Cadillac Escalade, and you were driving around those Daewoo.
Listen, I had at one time like
Lanos.
$105,000 Jaguar.
And a Bentley? Didn't you have a Bentley?
No, but I've had some really expensive cars, and I would drive like a $3,400 Daewoo that my nanny drove.
Station wagon.
Just because, who cares?
Yeah.
And if like you show up, let's say I don't know if I was going to go on a lunch date with a chick, if I'd show up on that.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
So, yeah. And new cars are ridiculous. I was talking with somebody yesterday that knows someone who knows someone. There was a car I was looking at I was going to possibly buy. And they were basically told if he wants it, he can come buy it. But there's no deals to be had.
Yeah. Sticker
is
sticker more than ever.
We're not taking nothing off. We're not doing nothing for him. We're not giving him nothing for his trade-in. We don't care.
You go look at like a new F-150, if you can even find one.
Right.
And it's $53,000. And it's $53,000. Like, there's no dealer rollbacks. There's no yippee-yos.
Yep.
We're going to give you basically nothing for your trade-in.
Nope.
It's, oh, my God.
No, and the friend of the friend was like, yeah, we're not doing it. Like, we're doing nothing.
Yeah, but like if I had to go pick up a chick or something, my F-150 is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2019 F-150 Lariat.
Yeah, it's real nice.
I do have to get some body. I one of these days need to take it to Ford and just have them fit, from Tyler smashing the gate here to.
You could sell that thing now for more than you paid for it.
Well, listen, I only owe, because you know how Ford sends you a statement?
Yeah.
I only owe like $23,500. And right now, if you look at it, it's $42,000.
Yep.
I'm like, well, I think I should sell it. I can make $20,000, but I need a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the thing is, what are you going to replace it with?
Well, my Crown Vic.
You said you need a truck.
Yeah, true. Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
If I dated a girl and she's like you, Anna.
Yeah. Gross.
You have to get tested, and we have to. I'd be like, first of all, I'm 55 years old. If I would have had something by now, there'd be a lot of girls, trying to get me in trouble, saying I gave them the herpes,
exactly,
or the claps.
So you're totally clean because you banged all these chicks,
right?
And they're fine.
Well, now hold on. But nobody's ever approached me of having an issue. I've never had an issue. Well, I had one issue one time.
You decrabbed yourself
in '86. I got crabs. I did get crabs in Terre Haute, Indiana in 1986.
You didn't even need a doctor.
The same place the Kiss Army started.
Same place Kiss Army
started.
started.
I didn't know that.
Probably the girl that started the Kiss Army, the dirty bitch, is one that gave me crabs.
Yeah.
She's from West Terre. Who in the hell could be calling me at this hour? Hello. It better be, it better be Bubba Army royalty. That's all I got to say. Hello. Exactly. Get off my phone. I'm in the middle of telling you how I conceived my son.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 86, this chick gave me crabs in Terre Haute, Indiana. I'm not proud of it, but crabs aren't like herpes or like warts.
It's pubic lice.
Like I'm trying to think about like some of the, AIDS. If you ever, I'm thinking of like the stuff you can get.
Herpes and AIDS are like the two.
Herpes and AIDS.
Yeah.
And I don't have either one of those.
HPV for women.
And so, those are the ways orts?
It can be, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I will tell you this, Blitz, when I have talked with a girl or something like that and it may get sexual, they do, sometimes you have that discussion, hey, are you clean? You're clean. I say, do you want stops and down every time?
What's that?
I give blood every 120 days. And in order to give, I'm at a 6-gallon club, I give double blood wet red cells. And Blitz, when you do that, when you give blood, they screen your blood for everything because they cannot donate your blood. You can't have herpes and they're giving because the blood that they use
for people like Lummy.
No, seriously, people that need blood transfusions and through operations and stuff like that. So every 120 days after you give blood from One Blood, the blood mobile.
Yeah.
After you give blood, they send you back a health report, an email health report.
Mm-hmm.
And it says what your blood type is, what your blood pressure was, and then it screens for Hep C, blah blah blah,
all the stuff,
COVID antibodies.
No, this is dumb, but can every STD be detected through blood? Because sometimes it's like a swab or
urine.
Urine.
And I guess maybe.
But
perhaps,
the major ones, all right.
Right. So they, so I just say, hey, I can email you my blood report that's 104 days old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and they're like, oh, and I've never had no problem. But I had crabs in 86.
Yeah, that's
when I burnt them off myself
with some bleach.
No,
Generodrome.
No, I went downstairs. I got crabs.
Yeah,
I'm in this class and I'm not paying attention. I hated college.
And you're itchy.
And I'm itching. I got these shorts, kind of like the kind of shorts you wear on. I kind of like the little, back when my butt.
Yeah,
back
in the 40s, the short shorts. So sorry.
No,
it was
in the 40s.
Nonetheless, it was the 80s.
Okay.
And I'm wearing me some, shorts, basketball, kind of like what I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to reach, I could reach in and get to my junk. Like you could.
I think everyone could.
If you got a pair of shorts in, you can reach in and get in there. If
Oh,
you
I mean,
need
I
to.
could do it now. Yeah. You just go from the top.
Blitz doesn't really have to reach in too far.
No, it's right there at the edge.
Yeah, Blitz just flicks mid quad and it's there.
Yeah.
Mid quad.
I mean, he karate chops mid quad and he's chopping off the gland.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm in this class. I can remember it like it was. I can remember exactly what classroom it was. It was over by the president's house. The president of Indiana State University had his own house that was right in the middle of campus, and it was pretty cool. It was on the quad. They called it the quad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this class, third room, no air conditioning, windows open, and I feel something biting me in my, like, not my balls, but like more my, my pubis.
Yeah. Your mound.
Because I don't think crabs go to my foop. And so, but they're biting. They're like, they're just not like, they're at the Golden Corral.
Oh, the buffet.
Yeah, I'm like, so I'm in the back of the class, so I go underneath in the middle of my shorts, underneath them on the side, and I think I got one. I pull it out and I put it on the table.
The girl next to you. Oh.
No, I put it on the table. Remember the little wooden tables?
Yep. Yeah. They fold out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they just had one little arm that you could write on.
Yeah.
So I'm in one of those. And then they had left-handed ones for the left-handed kids.
You have like 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
Yeah, for those losers.
So I'm in a right-handed Willie, and I put it down there, and sure enough, it looks like a little crab, like the kind on a beach.
Like Mr. Krabs?
Yeah, like, hey.
Mr. and Mrs. Krabs.
Me SpongeBob.
You didn't freak out at that point?
I kind of did. So I had a pin And it was teeny tiny, like literally, I'm going to show the camera how big a crab is. Hold on. It's like that big. It's just like a little dot.
Okay.
But it's real crab-like. You can see like its little claws and its little everything. It's just teeny tiny.
Like his legs and everything?
Yeah, you can see him. And he's trying to scamper, on my desk. So I'm trying to stab him with my pen, but I can't get him. Well, I get him right before he falls off, thank God. So I kill him. But I'm still getting bit.
Uh-huh.
And so some teachers were cool about like raising your hand saying you need to go to the bathroom. And other teachers were like real hippies. And they're like, yeah, man, if you just ever want to leave because you're not feeling the vibe.
That was that teacher?
Yeah, this was Johnny. So I wasn't feeling the vibe.
This is college, right?
Yeah, and
Can you just get up and leave?
I mean,
that's how college is.
Some teachers were cooler about it than others. Yes, Lummy, this is exactly what I had.
Oh, that's on your desk?
Hold on, right here. This guy's on my desk.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this guy. And
damn.
Now, he's not that big,
He looks
obviously.
mean.
Yeah.
But claws.
They're clawing the crap out of you.
And they're biting you.
Man, I know what it feels like to have like an ingrown hair down there, or like one hair like scratches or something. Like I can't imagine little animals down there biting at you.
Yeah, no, I don't want anybody to think I'm an unkept or unclean person because I'm actually very clean. Anna, would you say I'm not a clean person?
You're very clean.
Like, I always have lotions on. My teeth are always brushed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not talk about my hair, but,
Sometimes you're on the reef, but that has nothing to do with cleanliness.
Right, exactly. So I got one of these guys. I got several of these guys down. Well, see, let's
looks kind of badass.
let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah, that guy looks cool.
I want to hang out with him.
Let's back it up a little bit. I'm living on Oak Street in Terre Haute, Indiana. And Oak Street is, I don't even know the house is around anymore, but it was like the worst. It was an absolute. Blitz, did you get me some Control GX?
I did, and I got you some Crew pomade.
Ooh, could we Bubba Sassoon you?
No, bitch. But I can start Sassooning myself.
No, this is the shampoo that you use.
Oh.
And it takes the gray out gradually.
I almost did my hair today. Because I think I have some new viewers today. I'm trying to impress.
Okay.
So I almost
that chick.
Talking about crabs. That's a good look.
That chick. Yeah, I'm trying to impress that chick.
It was 86. Please.
Oh, you're talking about the chick who gave me crabs? She's watching right now from West Terre
No,
Haute.
that new chick who's like a fan of Tara and Anna podcast and stuff.
Oh, no, not that one.
Oh.
So anyway, these are what the crabs look like. So I hope that people that are watching the show for the first time don't think bad of me because I had crabs in 86.
You got them at Oak. You got them at Oak Street.
Yes, I lived on Oak Street. It was an absolute slum, like just absolute slum conditions.
You remember what the address was?
No, maybe like 624 Oak Street or something. And a guy named Garrett owned the house. He was in the back, and then he had 3 apartments. It was a big old house that they had sectioned up into apartments. And so I'm living there with Carrie Gray, and there's this girl, she's a groupie of the radio station, and she came by earlier today, and she looked kind of cute, but she did look kind of greasy, if you will. Anna, how people
Better
kind
banger.
of... What's that?
Said better banger.
Well, yeah, you're thinking, maybe she's a little granola. But I've not ever really, had sex or banged granola chicks, so to speak.
That's not your type.
No. So this bitch was a little granola. And you know how granola sometimes won't take a shower every,
white people with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she comes over to the house. I can remember like it was nothing, and it was wintertime. And one of my windows was broken in my actual bedroom, so I had a piece of cardboard over it with duct tape.
That's a good look.
And so she comes in, and back then, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, it's not uncommon for us guys to have the mattress on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Like every one of us have. Now that's not a cool look when you're 35, but when you're 18, 19, and Tyler don't get any ideas, all of a sudden your mattress is on the ground. But back when it's not uncommon for a guy to have the mattress on the ground because we couldn't afford box springs or a headboard or whatever. So my mattress is on the ground, and she comes in. Now, my buddy, Carrie Gray, who's my radio buddy, he is there as well. But he is so cold that he's in the kitchen with the oven because the heat's down or it's not working too good. So he had it was so cold that he had the oven on with the door open.
Electric or gas?
And electric.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Electric. And he has a fan that he's trying to blow into his room to get warm. So I get this granola bitch from West Terre Haute to come over. Well, you can't take your clothes, like, it's almost impossible to have sex because it's literally like 45 in the house.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I got a whole bunch of comforters. Why don't we just go to bed? And hold each other. Yes, Anna, a very rare Bubba cuddle.
'Cause you thought you were going to freeze.
Yeah. So
You have to preserve your life.
Not having a shower, granola bitch.
Yeah. So, and you really couldn't take a shower at my place. So I probably was.
'Cause you'd freeze.
I was probably a day removed from a shower too. I think her crabs morphed into my crabs and became super crabs.
Those all musty, nasty ass.
So we get to bed. We go into my bedroom, and it's just so cold. Well, finally, we get warmed up a little bit, and we decide to have sex.
Okay.
But it's not like standard sex. It has to be. It was like, you know how you lazy dog it?
Mm-hmm.
Blitz, are you familiar with lazy
Of course.
dog? Yeah. Now, lazy dog is okay for waking up Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But not the first time.
But
no way.
Lazy dog is for a girl that you've been with for a while, and it's simply that. You're being lazy about it.
Yeah, and you're just waking up.
Yeah, you're just trying to snap one off real fast.
Yeah.
Lazy dog is probably the least romantic it could be.
Yeah.
Unless you're grabbing their hair or choking them out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can spice it up, but I get what you're saying.
If you're
just
doing,
a regular lazy dog.
Yeah, just a standard grab her hips or her shoulders. Lazy dog is lazy dog is not super cool. Now, if you got a handful of hair or maybe a little wrap around the neck deal, or you're taking the jugs around the farm, that's a little different. But so we lazy dog it. Well, she instantaneously, we can't take a shower. Anything like, I don't even know that we have, I think our pipes are even frozen, so we can't really clean up.
What are you guys, like in the Arctic or something? What the hell?
Blitz, it's like January.
And this house is a crap hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my windows are falling out and everything. And so she just leaves. I gave her, a gift.
And she gave you crabs.
And she I
gave you a gift.
She gave me some stuff and I gave her. So the next morning, at the gym, Blitz, the campus gym, they had showers.
Okay.
But Carrie wasn't a student. I was. So, and he had to go. I didn't go to work until 7 at night. He went to work at like 10. He did middays.
Okay.
So I go to the campus gym to work out, but I more so did to take a shower. So I get a really nice hot shower. I get all the crustacean off of me. I'm feeling real good. And I didn't even know I had crabs then. So at that point, that's when I went to class after I took a shower. And I don't know if the shower activated the crabs or something, but that's when they started biting me. So I run home. Remember I had the professor that's like, hey, man, if you're not feeling it,
Sure.
So I wasn't feeling it. So I left.
We were feeling it all right.
Yeah. So I went back to the house. It was a little warmer that day. It was like 50.
Okay.
So I go downstairs in this slum of a house, and I find janitor in the drum, floor stripper. Like made to strip floors or something. I don't know, industrial commercial strength janitor in the drum floor cleaner. And I'm like, well, this is about as powerful of a cleaner as you can get. This has got to kill crabs. Because I didn't want to go to the student infirmary, and walk in there and say, hey, I got crabs. You don't want everybody knowing that.
No, not at all.
So if you can handle crabs on your own, don't you handle it on your own? I mean, I think nowadays you can go down to like CVS or Walgreens and they give you crab killer, right? Don't they got Rid or something like that? I think they got over-the-counter crab killer.
Yeah.
So at that point, only the girl checking you out knows you got the crabs, right?
Yeah.
Not the entire, infirmary staff.
Sure.
What'd you send me, Blitz?
Janitor and drum commercial.
Oh, yeah, this is what I used. on my crabs.
Oh, God.
Back in 1986. Hold on. I'm having big time computer issues.
You've got like 8 million tabs open as well.
I know.
Jesus.
I know. I'm trying to get through them.
Oh, you're kidding.
Grease. Tough to clean, right? No more. New formula janitor in a drum breaks up grease better than any other leading cleaner. No more. Here's cooking grease added to janitor and 5 other top breaks up grease better than any other leading cleaner. Here's cooking grease added to janitor and 5 other top cleaners. Equal strength. Mix.
And then here's a guy from Indiana State that had crabs.
Grease comes to the top of all the other cleaners.
All right, anyway, janitor in the drum. So I go home and I get in the shower. Now the shower, I try to get it as hot as I can, but it's not really that hot. And I take janitor in the drum, and Blitz, I don't even dilute it. I don't even,
straight on.
I just go straight janitor in the drum, and I remember I put it like in a cereal bowl.
Oh.
And so the first thing I did was
Did you bang the bowl then or something? I mean, did you set it down and like get on top of it and just like dip everything into it, or what'd you do?
Teabag it.
Was I doing like a Dairy Queen dip on the deal?
Yeah.
Was I doing
that
like
sounds good, actually.
Dairy Queen will take your soft serve and then dip it in some
Hell
chocolate.
yeah.
I was Dairy Queen dipping my balls.
Your balls.
No, so I took a janitor in the drum and I put it in a cereal bowl, and I went and got a razor, and I shaved. Now this is 86.
So they had like a one-blade Bic?
Yeah, well, yeah, they don't. I mean, guys didn't even really. That we didn't have Manscaped or anything like that.
So you're bushed out?
I don't think I'm bushed out, but I'm not, like right now I'm bald eagle. I ain't got no hair down there. None. How many guys here are bald eagle?
Not me.
Not me.
So am I the only one?
And me.
So me and you?
Yeah.
Well, like my boys are completely down to 0, but like above, there's I keep it really trimmed, but it's not bald.
Oh, I just shave it.
Yeah, not me.
I don't like anything on me. I mean,
Tyler, what's your situation?
Oh God.
We went over this before.
Daddy, my area has never seen a razor.
Scissors either.
You, whatever. Thanks. See you later.
We've already been over this.
We have these conversations weekly, Daddy. Don't you remember?
Daddy, not only do you ask this question on the air, but you ask me it privately all the time, Daddy.
How could you forget?
He's all pilled out. Two more cigs.
My black eye. So I don't know what my pubic mound situation was before it started, but it was completely bare when I got done.
Okay.
And so at that point, Blitz, I can remember like it was nothing. I took a hot wash rag. And again, you didn't have the internet to look on how to get rid of crabs. You couldn't type in how to get rid of crabs. We didn't. We just got.
You had maybe a friend or two. That was about it.
We had at the station. We got this new thing called a fax machine, and we literally thought it was from outer space. Like, we're like, wow, look at that. I mean,
you mean you could send pictures over a phone line?
I remember we were dealing. We had just became a radio and records reporter for the industry magazine called Radio and Records.
Yeah,
and if you were a reporter for them, like they had levels P1, P2, and P3. P1s were like the New York, Chicago, LA, Philly, Detroit. P2s were like Tampa, Indianapolis, San Antonio. And then P3s were like Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, and things like that. But just to get a P3 status and become a recognized, station that reports what it's playing, the record labels, if you're not a reporter, you get none. If you're a reporter, the record labels are giving you anything you need.
Mm-hmm.
If Columbia called and be like, we'll send 25 listeners on a bus over to the Indy 500 to watch the Fleetwood Mac and and John Cougar Mellencamp concert before the Indianapolis 500. If you add, this Martika record,
Oh boy!
and so you'd have to play the Martika record 20 times a week. You'd have to write 20 times a week, and then that would get you the promotion. And it was so illegal, and plugola and payola and all of that. So, Blitz, in order for them to be able to fax us what records they were working and how they wanted us to report them, we had to have a fax machine, and they were like $800 back then.
Yeah.
And so I was a music director, and my general manager, Tony Smith, Tony Clark, rest in peace. He just died a while back ago. He's like, Bubba, you better tell the record companies that we're not buying any fax machine. So I had to call the record companies and say, hey, if you want us to be able to report our music, you got to send us a fax. I got 4 fax machines. We had 4 of them. I was like, Tony, what you do is you type up a piece of paper with your playlist on it, and then you send it through this machine, and somehow it goes to L.A.
Can I take a picture of my butt and send it out via fax?
So
I want to fax my butt out to everyone.
So you couldn't, fax machines were cutting-edge technology. You couldn't Google how to get rid of crabs. So I shaved my pubes all the way down. And Blitz, I got to think the first time you shave your pubes are probably pretty tender.
Oh, I hope.
Like the skin, is virgin-like.
Not used to it.
Bobby for real is 1,000 bits.
So I shave it all down, and I take these hot wash rags, and I try to put hot wash rags all over my pubis.
Just like with hot water, nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay.
With trying to open up the pores.
Oh, okay.
That's smart.
Little did I know that I probably killed all the crabs by shaving all my pubic hair.
Probably.
Nothing for them to latch on to.
Right. So, because I used soap and I used hot water and I got rid of everything. So little did I know is that I probably didn't have any crabs once I took all my pubic hair out of there. But I was going to not make sure that they never came back. So I took janitor in the drum and slathered it all over my freshly opened pubis pores.
Yeah, all new open pores. Just shaved and open pores.
Yeah, so things that you use to strip and clean floors with. So I'm like, wow, this is really burning.
And that's back in the day when they could actually use real chemicals.
Yeah. Probably had gas in it or something. It's even hard telling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this is really hurting. This is really, really hurting. I'm just going to ride through it. So then I went and got an ice pack, and I'm icing down my pubis, and that's not helping. So then I go in the shower and try to run cold water over it, and it's not helping. And my pubis mound is turning red. Like, it started out kind of pink, and now it's like full-blown red.
Like Lummy's throw up.
Yeah, like Lummy's throw up.
Started out pink and then in full-blown bright red.
Right.
It's starting to swell, too.
Yeah, and it's starting to swell.
That's kind of hot.
And it's starting to kind of like it's just bad. So
Blitz is going to flick it.
I actually call my mom. I actually call my mom back in Warsaw, Indiana.
Yeah, what do you tell her?
She's at work.
Hi, Fwee, how may I help you? How are you doing?
She's at work.
How's school going?
She was the Warsaw sewage collection, she was the one that, she was a city manager for the city of Warsaw. She was the sewage collection clerk to make sure you paid your water and your sewer bill.
Right.
So I call down there and I go, Mom, I know you're at work. She's like, I'm very busy. We're having an audit today, Bubba.
Yeah,
I go, I know you're having an audit. But listen, Mom, I got crabs.
Well, how did you cook them?
No, I got crabs from this girl.
Oh.
You got a girl?
And then she got mad. She's like, my mom gets mad. She grits her teeth.
Yeah.
She goes, why are you calling me with stuff like this? I go, Mom, because I think I'm burning my skin off.
What did you do?
She's like, what are you doing? Like, I got crabs from this girl, and I used janitor in the drum to kill the crabs.
You did what?
I said, I used janitor in the drum cleaning stuff, and it's now burning
my
entire.
Why the hell would you do that?
So I go, what do I? She goes, you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, call me at home tonight. I'm like, okay. So this is like 3-4 in the afternoon. I go down to the hospital, to the infirmary, the student infirmary. And there's these cute, they got
cute nurses.
Yeah, they got girls that are in the nursing program are there. So I go down there and there's just really hot chick, and they got me sitting in this table, and I got to fill out all this paperwork. And they're like, "What's your problem?" I go, "I burnt myself while shaving my pubic area." And she said, I lied to her. And she goes, "What?" I go, "I burnt myself while shaving my pubic area."
What'd you use for shaving cream?
She said, "Well, hold on. I can't. I guess it was beyond her scope to look at it,
Right.
So she went and got a female, like
Oh boy.
A female doctor.
Okay.
And they like pull your pants down. Well, you know when you're at the doctor's office and you've just burned off your you're not laying nice at all.
No, it's like a little bug.
Yeah, like it's a little elevator button.
Yeah, it's nothing. Sometimes it's an innie.
And you guys know, every one of you guys would be a liar if you didn't admit to, when you know you're going to get you chub it up a little bit. You try to get it.
You would try to, yeah.
Yeah, you
tug on it.
That's what us guys do.
I know. I've done it before.
I mean, you've done
I'm kidding.
Like, you think girls, Anna, like before they're getting ready to get their boobs looked at?
Oh,
like
the boobs
like,
for sure.
Like they'll kind of like flick up their nips a little bit, try to get them out a little bit.
Yeah, every time.
Because nipples that are out look better than ones that are all crustacean in.
Yeah, and I don't want Linda to give me a snarky look.
Yeah,
Right.
with your weird boob looking.
So I try to get it, like kind of pre-worked. Well, they come in, right when I'm kind of trying to fluff it up.
Mid-work.
So she's like, let me see. Well, she brings in the intern.
Well, yeah, they need to learn how to deal with this sort of thing. When people burn themselves when they're
I'm
shaving.
sure there weren't many people shaving their pubes in Indiana in the
86.
80s. Yeah,
No, there weren't.
You started a trend.
Blitz, they actually were like, we haven't seen one of these in 15 years.
Right.
So the somewhat attractive, 53-year-old doctor, and then her very attractive 20-year-old, nursing student, they're now, and they get a popsicle stick. I can remember like it was nothing, and gauze, and they're poking around, like my burnt area on my pubis, and I'm standing up.
They go to the other room and go, watch this. We're going to get this stupid popsicle stick thing, and we're going to do the popsicle stick trick on this guy. Watch.
And so they they're prodding around on there, and I'm like, she's like, does that hurt? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, well, here, we're going to give you some salve or some type of stuff, but we're going to have to admit you overnight.
What?
And I'm like, why do I have to stay overnight? And she was like, in case you have a reaction.
That's part of the rib.
Yeah.
Well, I
Bring everyone else in.
And Blitz, thing about it is you didn't even have, like there was no insurance or
Right.
it was free.
Yeah.
Because
it was through the school.
Yeah, it was free. And the room was nice as hell and everything. So I
could just hang out here on the weekend?
I stayed overnight, but then during at 3 a.m, they had to come and do my blood pressure and then pull back my sheet and look at my, burned pube mound.
Right.
And they did it 3 times that night, all with different,
just so everybody saw.
Yeah, they're parading everybody in
Bringing
there.
their friends in after the bar.
So
Like, these people don't even work here.
Hey, you want to come look at this guy?
Hey, I know you're at quarter beer night down there at fourth quarter bar, but
You gotta
you want
see
to see
this.
an idiot that shaved himself, the janitor and the drum? We're calling him Fire Crotch now. He has red pubes.
Well, did you ever tell them what you actually did?
No, I did not.
There's no way they believed you.
No,
Were
no,
they
no.
super confused?
Of course they didn't believe him.
No, she just said, why did you shave that area and what did you use? And I said, well, I just shaved it, because I thought I was trying to do some personal hygiene stuff and I used the wrong stuff. And she goes, well, what did you use? And I said, I don't know. It was some type of cleaner. She goes, why wouldn't you just so she's quizzing me these questions. Why wouldn't you just use soap and water
or shaving cream?
And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Stop with the questions, bitch.
Yeah. Stop with the questions. I was dating this guy. I'm sorry. I had a one-night stand with this granola cricket bitch from the other side of the tracks. And,
Did you ever see her again? Talk to her?
No.
And can you turn up the radio? Toy Soldiers is playing, please. We're going to make sure we get those
Martika
songs
Martika. Blame it on the rain, Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
So there's my crab story, and I'm living by it. See, but I think you could tell a girl, hey, I had crabs. Like Anna, if you liked a girl and he was able to give you the blood work and he's clean and all, but he did say, hey, in full disclosure, I had crabs in college.
Oh, I don't care.
And I.
As long as you're clean now, why does it matter?
Janitor drum to get it off.
No, he didn't have to get into that. As long as he was
Just not there anymore.
Right, they're not there anymore. But I previously had. I mean, you'd want to know that, right? A guy had crabs.
No, I don't even need to know that. I just need to know what's going on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have my blood work.
Okay, great.
I don't know why we're even talking about this, why I give you my blood work. Oh, because we're going to become better friends, remember?
Yes, that was the original statement.
We can be just friends. And Blitz, I think I could be just a friend. No,
Okay.
I don't think you could, Bubba.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, you say you're just a friend.
You got what I need, but you say you're just a friend, and you say you're just a friend. Was Bismarcky talking about a girl that he's just not going to get any ass off of? Is that what that was about? Or was that about, I'm going to get that ass? You're saying you're a friend, but I'm going to get that ass. What do you think? Lummy, maybe you could bing maybe I'll ask Alexa. Hey, Alexa. What was the lyrical meaning of Bismarcky's Just a Friend? That's probably way too much for her.
Yeah. Here's something I found on the web. According to Genius.com, the chorus of this track is a spin-off of Bismarcky's 1989 single, Just a Friend, and Logic uses the track as an attempt to persuade a girl that only wants to be friends.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she answered
just wants to be a friend. So anyway, these guys have been with us for such a long time, and our valves just shipped to our engine builder, Delgado. So I'm Jesus/Tyler. I think Delgado's got our valves. I would say that our motor will be done in a week.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Get me a new motor, Daddy. I'm going to go ahead and lap the entire goddamn field, Daddy, with my new motor. What kind of valves I got in my new motor?
Ferrera.
Faria.
That's why you say it wrong, because you got Country Boy back there talking.
But me and Tyler have been messing it up for 15 years.
Yeah, because you're like, Ferrera.
And they were too embarrassed to correct you. Well,
You're right.
guess what?
Zeke, I'm so sorry. It's Faria, but I've been saying Ferrera.
Oh, Dad, it's Ferrera.
No, it's Faria.
No, Dad, it's Ferrera. We've been saying it for 10
real,
years.
It's Faria.
Ferrera. My valves come from Ferrera.
What?
So, Lummy, are you going to, because, you got, selfishly, you do stuff around here. You're my utility guy.
Yeah.
But, you got a bunch of projects that Ashley, plus I'm
like
thinking.
A baby.
Plus you got a baby. Plus you got to put.
You got a baby coming?
But, Lummy, I'm going to thinking you're going to have to put all that baby stuff together.
You're always.
Yeah, I was hoping that'd be done.
Yeah,
already.
you don't mess around with that.
All that stuff's done. I did that like a month ago.
You do that in like month 7.
Oh, okay. Like the changing station.
Yeah.
And the drawer. And the crib. And the little thing that he just looks up and hits. Like this. Yeah.
Toys.
Yeah, everything's
swing
done.
deals.
Like Lummy is swingy deals. That's the only thing that would shut Tyler up. You put it between two door jams or something. That was like a bouncy swingy deal. Yeah. So Lummy, you got all that built, huh?
Yeah,
You got the baby seat.
Yep.
Now, Lummy, are you going to be allowed to drive the kid in your truck? Because I got to think that no matter how well you have him strapped in, like if you got in an accident, one of those hammers that you got in back laying around could just Lummy's kid was killed by a hammer.
Throw him in the bed like everything else.
Yeah. Lummy, you know that you're probably not going to be allowed to drive that kid around in your car, in your truck. Your truck's like your utility I live in truck.
Well, I've been slowly cleaning it out when I can. Real slow. But yeah, I'll be on it.
Well, listen, I'm not telling you. You don't have to do it. It's not a. I don't care if you do it. I just say I want you to be kind of cool to strap your kid into your truck, drive him around a little bit, wouldn't it? Huh?
Yeah, of course.
You gonna bring him to work?
Yeah. If you let me, if you want me to.
I don't know about.
Yeah.
Like during the show?
Maybe have Ashley bring him in. Have Ashley bring him in.
They cry, right?
For like a segment. Like,
we'll give it a mic.
We could do Scared Straight with Tyler. Let him babysit.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a great idea.
Hey, you know what? Ashley could be here, right?
Yeah.
Daddy, I like that little kid. I wouldn't mind having one of my
I
own.
swear to God, Tyler, I would take this pocket knife out and I would give you a vasectomy. I'd grab your wiener and cut the vas immediately. Pablo the Love Sponge arrested for child abuse, even though his son's not a child anymore. He's a grown man. Bubba took out his buck knife and gave him a vasectomy when speaking about having a child. That's what they should. They should make all young couples like Tyler and Ace that are 18 and 19 to have to check out a baby.
Who's going to pay for that?
Well, in high school they give them those classes they give the fake baby to.
Was somebody being one of those realistic?
They're like $2 or $3 I thought.
Oh,
maybe even
they're
more.
expensive.
Yeah, the
they
real
crap
ones
themselves and
yeah,
cry.
you have to feed them and
It would almost be worth the investment For how much? I mean, $2,000 now.
I'll just bring a little Wilbur in every now and then.
No, you can give them back after a couple hours. You're like, oh, this, whatever. But you have to like really, really take care of them. Like really take care of them.
Right.
That's like having a dog that's a wind-up dog or a remote control dog compared to a real dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, as a potential, I don't want to be a grandfather. $2,000's a little stiff on the price, but I'm thinking, Blitz, $2,000 now, and think about just all the heartache and pain and money you'll be saving long term. You know how much kids are? Kids suck.
Let me check eBay. Can we just buy a used one?
A used kid. I don't want anybody to think I'm being disrespectful to my son, because I love my son.
Mm-hmm.
I would love nothing, I'm so glad I had him. He changed my life. It's just, he's my best friend. So I wouldn't change having Tyler for the world. I just wish I would have had him under more normal, circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not, a huge $300,000 custody battle and, home evaluations and depositions and child evaluations and all the, I had to go through an IQ test, a real IQ test. We're like
What's your score?
109.
Oh, so you're not kidding when you say that?
No, I'm like, right. I'm 109.
That's great.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's above average.
Okay, but that's what I am in life, above average.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm just saying. Some people are like, I'm a 109. I'm a 109, bitch. It ain't that impressive. It's like a B, which is good for me.
B is great.
Right. But Anna,
C is average.
When we were going through this custody battle, it wasn't even like it was a given by a psychologist IQ. It was like,
wait, why did you need to get an IQ test?
That's just how when you're rich and somebody's trying to and you're in a child custody deal and they want $7,000 a month child support, and they're fighting for your life. Tyler's mom wanted $7,000 a month child support, and for me to never get to see him. That's was when we went to the negotiation, when we mediated it, Blitz. They make you mediate it.
Oh yeah.
They started out with $7,000 a month. And you can never see him.
I was around then. I remember all that.
I'm like,
what would the IQ have changed? If you were dumber, you would have been less able to see him?
No, they just want to make sure that the thing that was being used against me is my job. I was, big on 98 Rock. I was the number 1 rated guy in town. And we did a lot of different things. We were very controversial and dirty back then.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very. Like girls peeing in coffee cans and just, they were trying to show the court or the judge that I was that guy, that I was, an irresponsible, idiot.
Okay.
And so
you proved him wrong.
So the court, when you do
test.
that, Anna, when you got a woman that a guy's got some money, then they just run you through the ringer. You have to have they have to have a child psychologist come to your home and watch you with your son change his diapers and how you interact and how you feed him. And you have to take your entire home. I lived in a 7,000 square foot home at the time, and you have to have it completely child-proofed, where every counter door
corner is,
every corner. I got
padding everywhere.
I got $400,000 in marble and granite, and I'm having to put corner bumpers on it, looking like a real jobber.
Remember, every door had those double locks on it. So anytime we wanted to open a door up, we had to unlock the lock.
Yeah, so you have to do all that, Anna, and then they do.
You put a big fence around your pool.
I had to put a big fence around my pool.
That should have been done.
That's all. But they, you can't do it when you want to. You got to do it. But I had to do all that
on their timeline
just to be able to, see Tyler Saturday for an hour.
And they do all that on it, and they do the IQ test and all that. Not necessarily to know his IQ. They do it so eventually the guy will just give up and say, "Fine, you can have what you want. I'm done doing all this crap you want me to do. Just do what you do. You do what you need.
Yeah,
I'll just give you whatever.
I'll just give you $6,000 and I'll never see the kid." Well,
and you had to pay for her lawyer as well?
Yes. Yeah. My legal bill was $330,000 for what should have been afforded me for free. Mm-hmm. Every man that wants to be a dad, there's some piece of crap, men out there that don't want to take responsibility, but like, I don't want to do with that kid. I'll just send you a check. There's probably a lot of that. Well, I was like, you know what? I got a son. It's not under the most ideal conditions, but I kind of always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
Probably not on these terms, but I want 50% custody. I want to be involved in this kid's life. I want to raise him. I want to, I want to be his dad. And so that should be free. Like that shouldn't cost a guy nothing. I mean, unless he's robbed 10 banks and raped 4 women the week before. I mean, you should have to run that guy through the ringer.
Sure.
But not a guy that's in the entertainment business that says shocking stuff. That guy is not a monster. Well, I had to prove, Anna, that I wasn't a monster. And anytime she would hire an attorney that she didn't like, because they would see my child eval score, they would see my IQ, they would see, that because these child evaluation people, they would be like, he's a great dad. He knows how to change diapers. He has, the right high chair. He knows the right food.
All the safety equipment.
He's a great guy. He's a great dad. We can't see. She'd fire her attorney to find somebody else, to try to say I was a bad guy.
Yeah, because it'll keep pushing it along longer, and Bubba will have to pay more.
So $330,000, her legal bill and my legal bill, just to be what. I mean, right out of the bat, if you got a guy that's not an IV drug user that's, raping children on the weekend, he's just got a regular job. I don't care if he's digging a ditch or he's a radio personality. If he's a responsible guy and he wants to have be part of this kid's life, that should be free. That should be where the negotiations start.
Why did you have to pay for her lawyer if you guys weren't even married?
Because in the state of Florida, she didn't have a job. Imagine that. And if the person that makes the most money, if there's a big disparagement, then you have to pay for her attorney. Otherwise, she wouldn't get ample representation. You'd hire a big slinging D, and she'd hire some public defender Willie, and you'd kick their ass. So you have to
pay for someone to screw you over.
Yeah, yep. I had to write a $125,000 retainer
to go against you
to fight me.
Yep.
So,
that's when you paid in pennies, right, or quarters?
Well, I owed her attorney $5,400. I was like, I can't. I can't. They're sending me these bills and I'm just paying them. So there was like one for $5,400 for like copy and fees and all that kind of stuff. And I told my attorney, I'm not paying. No way am I paying. And she's like, Bubba, her name was Nancy Harris. Bubba, you better pay. We're doing so good. We're almost to the finish line. And this is it. So your final $5,400. It's like they're almost in on it together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So we're at mediation. We get it all nailed down. So Anna, this is how well the court system worked. They didn't take in consideration my job. They didn't take in consideration when they turned the radio on and what they would hear. They took in consideration as, how they evaluated me, how professionals, observed me with my kid. And they gave me 50% custody. We co-parent.
And this was when Tyler was what age?
1.
Oh, that's okay. That's great.
50% custody. I'm not going to get into the amount I had to pay her, but that's,
what about the first year of his life? What was that like?
Pretty cool because Blitz lived with me and we had hot nannies from Denmark.
Okay, but you saw Tyler though.
Yeah. No, 50. Like I would get him on Wednesday and give him back on Sunday.
No, I mean before he was 1, like when he was an infant.
No, they make. I don't care if I'm making her look bad or not. Tyler knows all this. This will make me cry. So as we're fighting it out, and to get into family court is like, unless the kid's in danger. If it's just 2 people fighting over custody, it can take sometimes years to get in. Like if the kid's being abused, they get an emergency hearing immediately, which they do. But like if it's just, this chick is going after this rich guy, and by the way, the lawyers are in on it. They're like, hey, let's do 15 depositions and let's hire a forensic accountant and 2 child evaluators.
Yeah.
And you got to pay for all these people.
Buys time, buys money. Yeah.
Right. So. At the end of the day, while we're fighting it out for the first year of his life, they have me regulated to I can only see Tyler on Wednesdays at the Chili's on East Bay and 19 for 45 minutes.
With her present?
With her and her mom in the bar. And they would give Tyler to me in the parking lot. I'd walk in it was at 2:45. It's 2:45. I had to be there. 2:30. So from 2:30 to like 3:45, I got like 90 minutes with him. They would hand me his little, baby holder deal, and then I would just sit in a booth and talk to him, and they would have I'd bring my food and I'd feed him, and I would cry the entire time.
That was the first year?
That was the first year, and then it got so bad that because I cried, that my sister started going with me because I just could not handle it. I'm just like, this should be illegal.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything wrong. You can't be true. So then my lawyer flipped out and be like, how can he can only have, 60 to 90 minutes every Wednesday.
Week, yeah.
So that was like an emergency hearing. So the judge was like, you know what? You can meet him at a park for 2 hours, but you have to give him back. I mean, those are the kind of limitations you put on dads that have been like, pedos or like abusers or, like
coming out of rehab or
right. Listen, sir, you can slowly get back into your son's life, but it's going to be a supervised visit for 45 minutes at Applebee's. Okay. And then that guy's got to do that for a couple years, and then he gets an overnight. And then he gets a Saturday at the park.
Can we go back to Chili's? Because they had really good quesadillas.
I wouldn't even eat. I would just take his food.
You ate
his food?
No, we did communicate a little bit, and our little agreement was that she would bring his food. His meat. Well, not his milk.
Well, he's less than a year old.
But he had baby food. And so I would baby food him, like his little whatever.
Baby food.
Applesauce.
I mean, I didn't whip out my right teat and, and nurse feed Willie, although they certainly could have.
Those nipples.
Every time I used to hold Tyler, he's like, man, I feel a nipple around here. It's Dad's.
Try to latch on.
Yep. It's not Mom's. Nothing in that one.
Sorry,
That's dry.
kid, I don't got a Gildan on today.
So, I mean, I don't even know how we got into it, but I don't even know what we got started on that topic.
Oh, because you're talking about Wilbur and...
Oh, yeah. So Lummy, man.
Bringing Wilbur into the studio.
Well, so kids are, and Lummy are getting, not that kids.
They're ruining your life.
Kids don't even really become cool till like 2.
Oh, they're like for the first few months, they're just a worthless blob.
Yeah, like
they do nothing.
I'm not even trying to be a dick here, but kids are just blobs until like
2, but then they're really unruly because they're toddlers.
No. Kids are not unruly if you discipline.
What about the terrible 2s?
Like 5 or 6 months, they start to like at least open their eyes and they can recognize you.
Tyler,
yeah.
There are no such thing as terrible 2s if you discipline and.
No, Bubba, you don't realize how good of a kid Tyler was. That's why you didn't deal with terrible 2s.
Brian kind of was talking to me about it yesterday, and he was saying that he's having trouble.
Everybody tells you that, but like for real, Tyler was a really good kid.
Yeah, there was no such thing as terrible 2s. Like he was.
Yeah,
Tyler was the best.
Right, he was. But that's not normal.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Yeah.
No, you got lucky.
The only thing he would do is he had this thing that his little feet could touch the ground, and it was like a little.
Oh yeah, the little mover deal.
It was like a little, like a little thing that you could just haul ass on, and your feet would touch, and it had this, tray in front of it.
Yep.
And he would get it going down the hallway as fast as he could, and then he would literally smash into the wall like Dale Sr.
and laugh.
And then the whole thing would come up off the ground and go there, and he'd go, ha ha. I mean, he's concussed. He's probably concussed.
He didn't throw tantrums and stuff when he was a kid?
Never.
Almost never. He was very rarely did he ever cry or do he was such a good kid.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
weird.
he was only naughty maybe one time. He took a rock and he was with my nanny, Nina, who's got big jugs, by the way.
I believe it.
And she loved Tyler. And so I come home one day and she's crying because, I had to be the bad guy. They would never discipline Tyler. Tyler's got it over on everybody all of his life.
Well, maybe he didn't need to be disciplined because he was a good kid.
He was a good kid. But Nina is crying. She's like, oh, I'm just so upset. I go, what? What's going on? Tyler was very naughty today. What happened? We were out back by the pool, and there was this rock, and he kept throwing it. And I told him, Tyler, quit throwing the rock. And so he picked it up and threw it and hit me in the back of my head. And it hurts, and I got a little thing there. I went in there and whipped Tyler's ass.
Was it the first time you spanked him?
Probably one of the first times.
Was he like 4 or 5?
Yeah, I was like 5, 4, like 4. I'm like, Tyler, did you throw a rock and hit Nini's head? Yes. He never lies. The kid never lies. Ever. He'll never lie to me. I'm sure he's lying. I'm sure he's lying to me some stuff as we speak, but I'm just saying.
Just like I got away with it.
Yeah. So he said, yeah. And I said, oh, well, I'm going to whip that ass. Then he always started crying, just on telling you you're going to whip that ass.
And the other thing as a baby, remember what he was enamored with? Balloons.
Oh, yeah, he loved balloons.
Yeah.
So, like Terry Schiavo.
Yeah. If you went anywhere.
Tyler Schiavo.
If you went anywhere and just got on a balloon, he was happy for all day long.
Yeah, you could just put one balloon back there in the car, tie it onto his wrist.
Yep.
And you could go from, here to Wisconsin.
Yep. He'd be perfectly fine.
So anyway,
wow.
Yeah, I need to maybe buy one of those
balloons.
$2,000 babies. Lummy, did you Bing like the most expensive baby simulator?
Well, the most I was trying not to. It was like $500.
Lummy, did you just listen to yourself there?
Yeah, I had birthritation.
Still.
Well, I see. I was looking for. I
tried to find the $2,000 one. I couldn't find it, so I found the second most expensive one, which was this.
Did you send me a link to it?
Yes, and then I have a video for you if you wanted to watch the video.
I'd like to see the video, yeah, because maybe the $500 one will do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it poops and it gets up and it cries and it's throwing a fit and you can't get it to go.
It is morning.
Hold on here. Let me get this over here.
Jayla is still in her pajamas. I'm going to change her.
Kind of realistic.
To just this onesie. First, she's gonna have her breakfast, so I made her a little bottle. There's not much in it because she's a tiny baby. So
now this is not a real baby, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, just gonna go ahead and feed her.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you could just throw it out in the pool if you got mad. I mean, if you're like, I'm over this.
They have sensors on them. They record because they do it for school. So they have you got to put usually they got to put a key in it. And then the keys around your wrist, and they don't let you take it off your wrist ever. And then
like a fob on your jet ski.
Yeah, but if you remove it from your wrist, it's a one-time deal, so you can't just take it off and put it back on. And then you got to rock it, you got to feed it, and it has sensors, and if you don't mess with it for a while, it'll start crying and then record it.
I think every kid in high school should have to have this course.
A lot of them do.
This should be. They should have math and this.
Yeah.
This is like that, and that's this
Reading,
important.
math, and baby taking care of.
This is that important. All right, here we go. There's a little kid. Hold on, the kid starts sucking?
Yeah.
$500?
Yeah, it sucks on the thing.
Whoa.
Don't get any ideas.
I'm not.
Oh my God.
That's your guys' sick work.
That was
Greg,
Blitz
not
right
me.
there.
It is cute. I mean,
cues.
Is this the $500 one?
Well, that one's a $500. But if you want the one with the sensor, it is $2,000. I found the one with the sensor.
I'm talking about this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's a $500, but it doesn't have the sensor. So you could throw this in the water.
Do you ever listen to yourself?
Yeah, but I'm saying you could throw this one in the pool.
Is it impossible to ask him questions sometimes?
Look, I love Lummy. He is the most frustrating person to talk to ever.
Yeah, I'm like, is this the $500 one? Well, the $2,000.
He win talks everything.
Well, no, this is the $500. It sucks, but it doesn't have the sensor that Blitz talked about.
I mean, does it throw a fit if you're if you don't take care of it?
Yeah,
it's making noises.
Sounds like on a date.
What the hell?
Man, that sound just goes right through me.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so hungry.
And then she pees and poops and all that too.
Really?
It shows the poop in a little bit.
Hold on. I don't think we can.
She looks so cute.
Does it just sleep the entire time?
That's what a baby does.
So.
Well, no, babies are up all the time, aren't they?
They sleep a lot at the beginning.
I'm just gonna go ahead and change her. Okay, so it smells like Jayla. She made something in her diaper.
This is for fat girls who can't get anybody.
Oh my God.
This is for bigger girls who can't find a person to give them a regular baby. That's how they should market this.
Oh my.
You're a bigger girl and you're kind of lonely and you like to have a baby, but nobody wants to give you one. Well, don't go to the Dallas Bull.
Time for dinner.
Don't go to the Dallas Bull on Thursday and have too much to drink and hook up with some cowboy that you don't know that's going to be part of your life for the rest of your life. Just get one of these babies. It's the same thing. And could you trade it in, Blitz, once it's, one and get a 2-year-old? Yeah, let's build 2-year-olds. That's what we need. Screw babies, 2-year-olds, because they are monsters.
Elon Musk, why don't you make one of these things that runs around and all kinds of crap?
They should actually have kids, simulated kids. They have one here. It's obviously an infant. They should have one at 2, one at 3, one at 6. Because different stages, there's different, the kids act different.
I feel like,
you get a teenager one that's talking back and getting acne and being a real bitch and you're just like, whatever.
Might get some nefarious characters interested in purchasing them.
Oh.
See, you guys have such dirty minds.
No.
I'm just trying to help society.
It's better than the real thing.
Though, yeah.
I'm just trying to show society how much of a lifetime responsibility it is to have a kid, and how kids are not easy. And you got, 12 12-year-olds
buying
doing
600 of them.
back round-offs with Larry Nassar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take one in every color.
You got Larry Nassar having a whole gymnastics team of 12-year-old, plastic 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Ain't sure. Out of a sleeper.
Now, if this wasn't really your baby, couldn't you just be a little bit more like
forceful?
Yeah, aggressive.
And I'm sure most kids are.
Yeah, like not to a real baby. You're not you're not out flipping it. But with this thing, you're like, man, I gotta get this thing taken out. You get like,
mm-hmm.
And they're not gonna put you in jail if you give this thing a bruise.
No, but she's also recording it, so she's being nice right now.
No, I know.
Let's see what this is all about.
This is gonna be nice.
Oh, it's a little blonde head kid.
little towhead.
Little cutie. Now, is this a boy or a girl?
We'll find out.
He keeps saying
it's girl.
She keeps saying girl.
Whoa.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
Tyler, we need to get one of these for you immediately, because you start doing that 3, 4, 5, 8, 15 times a day, bitch. I guarantee you wear condoms.